Okay. So from where we left off last time, your friend Uzma had been assaulted in his home and arrested by a general from the city of Akros. In a very spur of the moment and daring rescue attempt, you were able to cut off the unit of Neolantin phalanx and Akros soldiers and rescue him with the help of his wife. You were able to sort of get out of there and escape with the help of some of the bandmates that Otto actually had gone and somehow miraculously found on a sort of misadventure that just happened to lead him to success. You met back up with some of those band members, checking on the safety of Uzma and his wife was gravely wounded during the encounter, but luckily, as far as you're aware, survived. Where we begin, you were just about to enter what looked like a kind of shoddy shack in the middle of the woods, too small for everybody to fit. Uh, just a little bit northwest of the city, pretty close to the theater. Um, and you're with Gali, the Harengan, who's a member of that band that you're supposed to assist now with a jailbreak. Their leader, Bell, who apparently has some information on Captain Savas and has some past with him. And sort of in exchange for that information, you're going to break her out of prison and help this band with this sort of protest show that they're trying to put on. So, starting right where we left off, Gali signals to you all to follow him. You move inside this little shack. There's barely enough room for you guys. You're shoulder to shoulder, cramped up. He looks at all of you, makes sure everybody's inside. He closes the door and he walks up to the stump of a tree that this little shack is sort of built into. He reaches in. You see him open up a door in the tree. Shimmers for a moment as it reveals the interior of what is a magical mansion. Spell that had been cast to create sort of a resting place on the inside. He looks at you all. He's like, okay, step inside, enjoy my personal abode. Motions for you all to move inside.
I'll follow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
follow.
So moving inside, it is a luxurious mansion themed with flowing flowers and garden-like landscapes that just cover the walls and floors and ceilings of this place. There are two Harengon servants. I'm going to give you an image in tabletop chat of these two. They are both posted up and awaiting your entry. They bow to you as you walk inside. The one male Harengon servant nods to you all. He says, "Hello, welcome, welcome. Can I get you anything? Would you like something to eat, something to drink?"
I will decline.
Yeah,
Take
I'm
a
good
drink.
as well.
Yeah, take a drink.
What would you like? What would you like? We can get you pretty much anything.
After a battle, I would say probably both water and ale.
Yeah.
On second thought,
just
I'll
want some
take
ale.
some ale as well.
Okay, okay. The female Harengon hops off as well. They both disappear into a separate section of this magical mansion that you've entered. Gali hops past you. A couple other members of the band move through and beckon you to join them. There's a large room with big double doors. They push the doors open and head inside.
Follow.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll
follow. For
Okay.
Sure.
There's a large round table with a couple dozen chairs surrounding it. Very large table. Gali sits down at the top, kicks his feet up. I'm going to give you some of the images for Gali and the band members in the room as well. Hey, we got snow just in time. We just got started snow. So, give you a quick walkthrough of where we're at, Snow. You guys linked up with Gali at the end of the last session. Gali has led you into a magically crafted mansion in a small shack that's located just on the edge of the woods behind the theater. He's walked the party inside, and they've ordered drinks from a couple of the magical servants inside this mansion. The mansion itself is this beautiful floral designed rooms and hallways. They sort of took you inside to like a main parlor, and then just walked a little bit off to the hallways to the left into a larger sort of sit-down meeting room with a large round table. The party has just walked in and gotten seated. I'm going to give you the images of the members of the band that are in the room with you. This should pop up in the tabletop channel in just a moment. So you know all of these members at this point. Bog Siege, of course. You've got Golly the Harengon. Leisha is the bard, the halfling bard. Maurice, who is the flute player that you've only just met. And there's a secondary flute player, Sidon, who you met at the bathhouses previously. And then Suzilda is the lizard folk who you just met at the end of this last session.
Can you type out all their names?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm going to type them out in the order that they're on there.
And then before we had stepped in here, I believe Miaces had sent Phi to guide Uzma
Yes.
and his wife here.
And I knew at the end of the last session that they were on their way. They're just not here yet, right?
Right. You know that they're on their way. Phi is still following and keeping up with them. But they have not arrived yet. And I just posted the names of all of these characters underneath the pictures. So they're in the same order that they're posted.
And now I won't butcher the spelling.
I hope so. Also, Snow, Otto, you have any questions for me?
Nope, I've catched up with the last session that I left a little bit earlier, so I'm up to speed.
Okay.
And as of my opinion, I am gonna help I am on the side of helping the band to go on.
Okay.
For we're gonna rescue Bella.
Yes.
Belle.
Yep,
And
Belle.
carry on with the show. Yeah.
Cool. Yep. So
I'm
Just
siding
real
with them.
quick, Bird, we didn't learn the names of the other two rabbit folk, right?
no,
Okay.
you do not know the names of them. The apparently just servants, as far as you're aware. I'd say, I don't know if you'd be familiar with this. Luzuli's character at least would most likely be familiar with this sort of spell. I'd say Asha as well is probably familiar with it. Do you know what spell this is, or do you want me to explain?
Mordekainen's Magnificent Mansion.
It sure is.
I was so excited
Ah.
as soon as you said that.
Yeah, it's a
I was
spell that
reading that they called that.
it's a spell that a lot of bards have. You basically conjure an extra dimensional mansion. It has a hidden entrance. Once the door is closed, the entrance disappears. It's a pretty large space. When you conjure the spell, you can create whatever floor plan you like. You can make it look however you want to, furnish it how you want, decorate it how you want. It's got food in the inside to serve like up to 100 people, I believe. Like a massive several course banquets. And there's also servants who attend. When you conjure the spell, you can dictate the appearance of the servants and their attire, their attitudes, and they're
So
obedient
they're like
to.
spectral.
Yeah, they are spirits.
Neat.
But they do all kinds of things. They can fetch things for you and clean things up for you. Get you food, mend items. Like anything like that. So they basically are there to assist you with your rest period and keep you hidden while you do so. And it's very prominent bard spell. One of the coolest spells I think in D&D, honestly.
I love it.
But yeah, so you're there inside the dimension that you can assume is conjured by Golly as being the one that lets you in, and also being themed around Harengon. The interior harmony you notice is very reminiscent of the Feywild, which is where Harengon originated as a race. in a species. So you recognize the interior a lot. It's a little unsettling to you because, Feywild is someplace that you ended up and had some bad experiences, but
And that is why I'm not drinking or eating anything.
otherwise, in this environment, everything seems not hostile to you, but it is still just a bit unsettling. So you all sit down, gather up. The band kicks back a bit. They take a minute to gather themselves. After the ordeal, the servants come in. They serve you the drinks that you ordered, as well as placing bottles down for additional drinks whenever you'd like. They also begin to move in. You see copies, exact replicated copies of both those two servants, bringing in
Oh, I don't like that.
plates of food and meats and veggies and all kinds of stuff, setting it up on the table in front of you and around you, which Gali and the rest of the band just immediately dig into. Gali sort of looks up from his plate after taking in some of the food. Looks at you all and says, "All right, well, how are you going to do this?"
What?
Speak up.
He spits out a little bit of his food. How are we going to do this?
Well, what do we know so far in terms of like guards and like what do we have to get past? Do we know anything about that?
Sidon leans forward a bit. Says, "Well, I've done a little bit of reconnaissance on the Phalanx Guard location. There's quite a few of them in there. I can tell you it's going to be dangerous regardless of what we do, but I know for a fact that general is located there, the Okrasi general. His name is Hale, I believe. I also noticed a couple prominent members of the Phalanx Guard. One of them is named Hava, a pretty skilled combatant. Otherwise, their entire guard unit is located in this prison. Their barracks are here. It's very close to the Temple of Heliod, where they have several other guard unit stations. So, if we are going to get in, we're going to have to be careful. We're going to have to be sneaky and stealthy."
Agreed. This isn't something that we can just storm.
Bogseed sort of reaches up and says, "Hey, I could just blow it up. I got
I don't
the
think
equipment."
I don't think just blowing it up will
It's
get
gonna work.
far
What
across a fortified
what if I just blow up
fortress.
like a piece of it?
Just
Do you
blow
know
all
where
of it.
Bell is?
What if we just do both? We blow
We
it up
should
as a
do both.
distraction.
Mm-hmm. I think
I
we
mean,
should use a distraction.
that's not a bad idea, using it as a distraction.
Yes, you would just want to make sure that you know a
What you're
way
blowing up.
out,
Yes.
that you have something that you can retreat to once the distraction has served its purpose.
Um, Alicia sits forward and says, "Well, we know the base is located entirely on the side of the cliff. I'm wondering if there's a way we can use the cliffs to our advantage. Can we climb down from
Like a rock
above or
slide?
climb up
Oh.
from below? Well, rock slide is a good idea."
If we do a rock slide, it would seem more
Make it appear natural.
maybe natural. And they wouldn't be as on guard if we sneak in.
Golly's still got his mouth full of food, but he's chews it up for a second and looks at everybody. He's like, "Well, we don't really know you guys that well. You have any spells, anything, any talents, any useful abilities you can help us with here?"
I have something that would allow me to see or hear Bell from wherever they are. I don't know if that's gonna be helpful. Maybe we
That
can
would
find
totally
the
help.
exact location, but I don't think I can communicate. I can just see or hear.
I also have some resources that I can potentially pull on, but I want to float the idea of postponing your riot. If that's supposed to happen tomorrow, it gives us very little time to actually pull this off, and the less time we have, the less prepared we can be for it.
You
I have
mean
some people I
our
can talk to.
perfectly calm concert and show
Yes, your perfectly calm concert and show
that
that's
may
certainly
inspire a
not
riot
going
that's
to.
totally unrelated to us?
Mhm.
Is that how you get
That
by?
that one precisely.
What
It's
is the name of this band that you're all
oh,
a part of?
Proper etiquette.
That's the name.
That's the
Proper
name of our band.
etiquette.
Proper etiquette. Yeah. Have you heard of us?
Have I?
Roll. You guys can roll history, I suppose.
I'll roll history, sure.
I rolled a nat 20 on that.
I also rolled a nat 20.
I also rolled a nat
I
20.
really.
What the fuck?
Let's see if I can do any better.
This is
Wait,
bad
I
juju,
wanna
guys. This
try.
is not good.
I rolled an 11.
This is bad juju. I wouldn't trust this.
Yeah, we all got
Wait,
a net.
what
Three
am I
of us.
rolling for?
History.
No way.
3 nat.
Well, me, Snow, and Sasha are cursed for the rest of this fucking session.
Yeah,
probably.
that is bad juju.
I rolled a 12.
12. Okay.
All right, we got an 11 and 12.
So, yeah, Harmony and Asha, you're not completely familiar with the bands, but the other three of you, oh man, you've heard of their exploits quite a bit. As
Huge
far
fans.
as interactions with both Meletis and Satessa, this band has appeared multiple times and caused a bit of a ruckus almost every time that they've appeared. Lazuli being from Meletis, you know that they started out in Meletis. It's sort of a low level band, pretty rowdy. A lot of their shows ended up just getting a little rowdy, getting a little ugly, a lot of fighting, that kind of thing. You know that beyond being a band, they are they're looked at more as like a rebellious unit, like insurrectionists.
Sounds about right.
Generally, if they've got a show going on somewhere, something happens nearby in these cities, be it a robbery or a burglary of some kind. They get things like prison breaks for political prisoners and all kinds of stuff. You've heard of just rumors and rumors and rumors. They tend to.
We haven't heard of any of them doing anything objectively bad, right?
No.
Okay.
The word on the street is that they support freedom. They support the people. They don't like oppression, things like that. So anytime something like that seems to be going on, they sort of make it their mission to get involved. I'd say Lazuli as well, with your information and your contacts. You've heard that there's some mysterious benefactor for this band, somebody that's like a manager, so to speak, that organizes all of these events. But this person has never really appeared. Even with bless you,
Sorry.
you're good. Even with your knowledge and the knowledge that you have access to, then nobody really knows who this person is. They've never seen his face, never appears anywhere. Don't really know if it's a he, she. Don't know anything about him. Just that they exist, and they bankroll this, and they fund this band and support this band with equipment, things like that, and sort of are the ones that direct them from place to place to point, and sort of direct these events from behind the scenes.
So the show itself can be a distraction of sorts. If you do this, even without Bell,
We need Bell. Out of the question. We need Bell.
I know.
We don't get on
I know,
stage without Bell.
If you start something to create a distraction, you're gonna lure a lot of the guards towards the riot. Won't you?
Speaks up. So I'll just blow something up.
This could create an opening to Ghost of Bell.
We cannot get on stage without Bell. It would be bad.
Okay.
Alicia agrees. She's like, I agree. I wouldn't be comfortable getting on stage without Bell. She kind of runs things. She keeps us in order.
So would you agree that it might be worth postponing if we're unable to put together a solid plan before tomorrow?
They sort of all look to each other and look to Golly. Golly leans back. Says, how long would you want to postpone?
Not long. Maybe another few days.
Maybe a day?
I'll get in touch with my contact and get any information that I can. And then, potentially we still roll tomorrow, but potentially we roll the next day.
He looks at everybody else. They sort of either shrug or nod and says, all right, we'll give it at least a day. No more than 2 days, though, all right? We're on a little bit of a schedule, so to speak. We just
Doing a tour.
never expected Belle to get nicked like this. So it's not really a tour, but there's certain things happening that our show is going to stop, and we got to do it. It's important. So.
And what happens if we don't have Bell by the 2 days? You're just gonna not do the show?
Well, we're gonna have Belle. There's no way we're letting them keep her. There's no way.
Yeah, I imagine we'll do something drastic.
Okay.
We get a couple tricks up our sleeve, but either way, I think we'll be able to get her out. I like the idea of distraction. We could have our buddy Bog here just cause a bit of an accident nearby. I like the idea of creating a landslide of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Our buddy Sidon here is very stealthy. He can get inside. If you can get him locations, maybe any of you that are stealthy as well can move in and assist Sidon in sneaking in and finding Belle and getting her out of there.
Sure, I can help. I can also do reconnaissance ahead of time to see if there's any less guarded areas to sneak in from.
I like it. I seen you work with your avian friend. There's most of this location has just open sides, so you can get your bird in and out very easily. Now there is an interior that's dug a little bit further into the mountain, but most things are accessible from those exterior walls.
Okay, I'd imagine that prisoners are kept further in, but
yes,
I can at least find some empty corridors for us.
Yeah, find us a way in, and maybe an escape route.
If we're able to identify exactly where she is and get me within 500 feet of it, I can potentially dimension door in, but it would be a risk without knowing the exact location.
He looks to Otto. Do you think you can get us an exact location?
I don't think I can get an exact location, but unless I can communicate with Belle.
Well, I'd say do the best
I
you
can only
can.
see her. Okay.
And then we'll work with what we got. Any other ideas?
But yeah, we can get the exact. We can get the location within the next day. I'm pretty sure of it.
Sidon, you said that you had information in regards to the units that are there. Did you have any information on their distribution or schedules?
Oh, most of the time they move in and out in units of 2s or 4. They've got a pretty stacked guard unit at their main gate. As far as the interior, I believe each cell room and cell hallway has, or not each cell individually, but each hallway of cells has at least 1 or 2 guards that patrol back and forth. There's a pretty large barracks where the majority of them congregate towards the front area near the gates. They've also got several watchtowers that are manned with archers and spellcasters at all times. I think it's best if we break up into teams, built on our skill sets. Maybe we have a distraction team, an infiltration team, and maybe a team that would assist us in an exit.
I think that all sounds good.
Golly leans back a bit. All right, well. Which of you want to work with the distraction? Who wants to go with our good friend Bog Siege here? Everybody's silent at the table. Looks around. It's like, really?
Silent.
Bog speaks up. He's like, what?
It's the riskiest roll by half.
It's gonna be so much fun. I'll let you guys play with the bombs.
I
That's the thing,
can.
yeah. Who here likes fire? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. At
I could
Otto.
go, but I think I can be more useful on other roles here.
Yeah, no, that valid.
So
Fine.
As much as I want to fireball the entire place down, but
Bog Siege looks to
or
Harmony. He's
break
like,
some
hey,
windows, you know.
I saw you cause some chaos. You want to play with some bombs, little fairy?
I don't think they'll trust me with bombs, but sure.
Oh, I will give you some bombs. I'll give you bombs right now.
I feel like
He
this might
starts digging
actually
through
be
his
a good
bag.
roll.
hey, not right now. Maybe.
Like, sure?
All right.
There's
I'll
a
play
room
with
in this
bombs.
mansion that's dedicated to detonating them.
We can arrange that, right, Golly? Golly's like, yeah. Maybe let's just not for a minute. You guys can go outside and play with your bombs, okay? Bogsy sort of
Probably.
shrugs at you, Harmony, but also he's got sort of a sly grin.
I mean, if we play with them outside, there's no way. Like, I mean, we can always, have them go inside.
Oh my god.
He gets a bigger grin. He's like, I like how she thinks. So Golly leans back in. All right, okay. We got Bog and we got Harmony. Anybody else want to join the distraction team? Leisha speaks up. She's like, yeah, I'll join with them. I got a couple spells that can help. Sizilda, the lizard folk woman, also speaks up. Well, I can come to support you guys in case anything goes wrong. Anybody else want to join the potential explosive distraction team? Well, how about infiltration? I believe Sidon, you should lead that up. Sidon nods.
I'll go with Sidon.
Well, how many teams do we plan on doing? Like, just to get an idea of how many should be. Is it just the 2 teams? The
3
infiltration?
teams. 3 teams. We're going to have the distraction, the infiltration team, and an exit team. Somebody that posts up somewhere and guards and prepares for the exit and gets spell out once the infiltration team moves out with her.
I'm gonna go with the infiltration team.
Infiltrate, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Along with Ashi, that already said that too.
What did I say?
That was me. That was me.
My
I
bad.
don't think I said anything. I was about to ask. I don't know what where I'd be best placed.
I'm sorry, I keep messing this up.
Okay, you're good.
I'm still drunk in my defense.
Great. Maurice also speaks up and says that she will join. I have several spells that can incapacitate guards. I have charm spells as well, so maybe I can make use in case things get a little sketchy.
Right. That sounds good. Anyone else?
Okay. Golly looks around. He's like, all right, so I guess that leaves the rest of us for the exfiltration, so to speak. We'll set up. We'll post up somewhere after our good friends here. And he points to Miaces inside and give us some information on, maybe where we're going to get in, maybe where we're going to get out. We'll post up and make sure the area is clear and keep things ready. And we got to be ready to move fast once they get her out of there, I think.
Yes.
And you said you can dimension door, huh?
I can. So that would be my only asset to the infiltration team. I would assume I would be better suited for the exit.
Yeah, I mean, dimension door and people out could help us as well.
It would be very limited.
How limited are we talking here?
4 times absolute maximum.
Okay, I think that can work out.
And that's going back and forth. So
he looks
potentially
to Ashi.
2.
And you're okay with the exfiltration team?
Yeah. Guess I'd probably be best there.
You could also potentially work in the infiltration team if you were something small.
Yeah. I feel like I could potentially work there.
You could work anywhere.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure which one I would be best in.
I think it would be which one
What sounds like fun?
you feel
Yeah.
most attracted to.
Can I ask a question real fast to Bird about how something works?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so my bracer of inseparable bonds that's tied to Phi.
Mhm.
Would that let someone else feel where she is if I gave it to them?
It requires attunement. Um,
Oh,
so they'd have
never
to.
mind.
Yeah. It's definitely like an object like that definitely requires like a particular attunement. So I think it would be
Okay.
difficult to form that same bond. In a pinch, it would take time.
Got you.
I got a question.
Okay.
For the scrying spell, that I create a sensor that I can see and hear through. Can I? It's invisible unless the creature can see invisible objects. Can I make it so it's not invisible?
Um,
Can I choose to do so? I don't think I can, right?
not as the spell is written out. No. Uh, the spell is designed to create the invisible object.
Yeah, and it says that it stays within 10 feet of the target. Can I move it, or it only moves with when a target moves?
I believe it stays in that location.
But do I have some control of movement with it?
Let's see. I don't think so. I'm gonna read the spell again. No, you don't have any movement control. It basically it will appear near the target wherever they are when you cast a spell. If the target moves out of range of it, it still keeps its location.
Oh, it says it moves with the target remaining within 10 feet of it for the duration.
Okay.
It just says it moves with the
Oh, you
target,
can
but
target
not
a
that I
creature.
can move it.
Yeah, you can target a creature
Yeah.
or a location. I gotcha.
Okay. That it might not be as helpful as it could be, maybe, unless I get some views of the exact location. But assuming it's a cell, I won't see much of a thing there.
Guy looks to you. Well, it's definitely worth a try.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask for some of the components that I need to
Oh, what do you need?
to the spell. A focus such as a crystal ball or a silver mirror or a font filled with holy water.
A servant materializes next to you with a mirror, silver mirror.
Oh, damn. Thank you.
The servant stays there, just staring at you with a big grin on its face.
I'm
Like
gonna
thieves.
I'm gonna proceed to casting the spell then.
Do you need anything else? Is there anything else we can get you?
Can you tell me a little bit about Belle so I can have more success on the spell?
Well, she can be kind of mean, but just in like she's worried about us sort of way.
More like physical traits, not
Oh,
personality.
okay. Well, uh, she's blonde. Uh, she's got a pretty big scar above her right eye. She's pretty athletic. She's got like she's a bowman. She's really good with archery. She plays guitar. She hides things in her hat. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got blue
Sure.
eyes, light skin.
Okay, that should do it.
She smells really good. Bogsy
It's a
just
lot of
like speaks up. She's
information.
like, yeah, no, she smells really good. It's kind of weird.
All right, I'm gonna cast a spell then.
Okay, you want to just do it here, or do you want to move somewhere else?
I'm gonna do it right there.
Okay. So Otto begins casting the scrying spell. It takes 10 minutes, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything or ask anything while that is happening?
Is there somewhere private that I could go to see if I can reach my contact?
Golly nuts. He was like, yeah, just find any room in the building. You know what? Here, hold on a second. Hold on a second. He closes his eyes and like squints really hard for me. He's like, okay, I created a room right across the hall. Just go in. It's super private.
I'm going to go out and choose. Well, I'll look in that. Can you see that room directly from where I am? Like, would they be able to see me open the door and look at it?
There's doors for this room as well, so you could leave, close the doors, and look for the room. He said it's right across the hall, so it should be right across when you leave.
Okay.
You can close those
Yeah,
doors.
I'll leave and close this door behind me, and I'll
Okay.
check that one out, but potentially find a different one.
Okay. Yeah, you see that's just a single small door, rounded at the top in front of you across the hall.
I open it.
Completely empty. There's nothing in there. It's very floral as well. It's got lots of vines and roots sort of spread out with little buds flowering on all of them. The floor as well has almost several different variations of grass growing out of it simultaneously.
I'm gonna go find a different room.
Okay. You can head in two directions. You can head back towards the main parlor, which is just to your left, or you can head further into the mansion on the opposite side.
I'll go with the opposite side,
Okay.
and then I'll just take like the first door.
The first door
outside.
would be like adjoining the one that the rest of the party is in.
Oh yeah, no, not that one. So I'll go down the hall. Maybe if there's like a corner, I'll turn the corner and do that door.
Okay. So you walk inside. It looks like a workshop of sorts. There's a big work table. Looks to be like a tinkerer's area. You see a lot of those round sort of casings that Bog Siege is, his explosives seem to be built with. So you can assume this is like his workshop area.
Okay. I'll do here.
Okay.
And if anybody else wants to do anything, go for it.
Anybody else on the interior with the van have any questions while Otto is casting his spell? You guys want to? You have any questions for the rest of the band? Anything that you'd like to throw in about the plans?
I did have a question about the band that I didn't get to ask earlier.
For me?
Since I've heard of them, yeah. Since I've heard of them, did I hear about them on the ship at all?
With that role, you heard about them on the ship. You heard about them even when you were younger, first coming up.
Okay.
So, you've heard about them several times throughout your travels. Like this band is.
But no specific ties that they had to the Theros.
No, they've never appeared on
Okay.
the Theros. They don't have any ties that you're aware of to the Theros itself. There's a lot of people on board the ship that have obviously heard of them as well, and that's kind of where a lot of the rumors circulated.
Okay, cool. That's all I wanted to ask.
Sure. Anything else about the breakout? Nobody? You guys don't really have a whole plan yet.
I know we don't.
I mean, I just gotta blow things up, so that's easy enough.
Yeah, Harmony has a
Yeah.
plan.
We figure out where Belle is. We sneak in there,
Well,
knowing
you're
the
scrying.
exact location.
You're scrying. Get out of here. You had 10 minutes of scrying. You are focused, Otto.
I'm not sure that we can make much of a plan until we can get some more information on the guards and the movement and what is the least guarded part of the facility.
Poseidon nods. Yes, I agree. I think we should rest for a time, spend the earlier portion of the day tomorrow doing reconnaissance, getting information, then gather back here and make a more firm plan of attack.
I agree.
Okay. Well then, I think, if you don't mind, I will go rest. Poseidon steps up. Several other members of the band step up as well. So, yep. Gonna go ahead and get some rest. Leisha stretches and walks out of the room. The only one that stays in there is Golly. He looks at you all and says, okay, well, I've prepared rooms for you upstairs. You just exit out, make a left into the parlor. You see a large staircase going up. There'll be several rooms up there for all of you. Just pick one. If you'd like it to have anything in particular, you have any requests as far as the decor, I can make some changes for you.
I want a nice comfy nest for Fi.
A nest, absolutely, absolutely. He motions to one of the servants who just hops off expectantly very quickly. Anybody else? He looks to Asha. Anything for you? Anything? Nothing? Any particular decor?
Ashi.
Ashi.
I don't know, a very large bed.
Very large. We can arrange that. We can arrange that. Anything else? Anything else at all?
No, that's all.
Okay. He looks to another servant who hops off. And what about you, little fairy? What's your name?
Excuse me?
What's your name again?
That's extremely rude.
He sits back for a moment, looks a little like upset. It's like, me? Rude? Never. I don't know. Did I ever get your name?
I don't know, did you?
I don't know. Did I?
I would like the biggest bed.
The biggest bed. We could probably arrange that. Okay. You're not gonna tell me your name though? That's fine. I'm gonna call you little fella. All right, little fella.
Yeah, and I'll shove a mine up your little fella.
Whoa. I'm glad you're going with Boxy. You guys are gonna get along real well. So big bed for the little fella. I guess we'll just give your friend some generic stuff. Okay, so as they're discussing this, Otto, your spellcast comes to fruition. You get a blurry view at first, but it starts to materialize. You see Belle. I'm going to give you an image of Belle here in a sec. Belle isn't bound at all. She's in a very small cell. There's just one stone slab for a bed, basically, and like a literal pot to piss in. There's a window that you can see on the far side of the room, a small window that overlooks the cliff sides. Directly across, you can see a large, tall temple on a very small rocky island. Being around town and sort of getting to know the area over time, you know this is to be the Temple of Keranos. So you definitely get the information that's the Temple of Keranos is visible from the window in Belle's cell. Belle herself is laying sleeping at the moment. In the time that you spend scrying, you can notice a guard patrolling outside of a stone door. Makes 2 passes in the time that you scry.
2 passes in 10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Just one guard.
Only?
Just one guard, yes. Okay. Aside from that, you don't hear very much. You hear like mumbled conversation of several individuals somewhere far down the hallway outside. But you can gather that this room is at least on the cliff wall. It overlooks the cliff and has a direct visibility on the Temple of Keranos from across.
Okay. Yeah.
And your spellcasting is.
Okay. I'm gonna. Is there anyone still in the room with me as I'm finished up with the spell?
Yep, everybody is just discussing the rooms, basically.
Okay. So I'm gonna relay all that information to the rest of the party.
Okay.
It's something to start off, for sure.
Yeah, sounds like I should be able to find that window with Fi, probably. If it is looking out at the temple.
What time of the day is it right now? Is it night?
Yes, it is. It is nighttime. It's just sort of the sun's just gone down, so before midnight, after 9 p.m. sometime.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try to do some scouting with Phi, if that's okay.
You want to scout with Phi, the bird?
Yeah, I can turn myself into a bird as well.
That's right. Okay. You want to do that
I
before
mean,
the rest period? Before you rest? Or in the
yeah,
morning after the rest?
yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna do that during like this night before I go back and rest. Is it too far away from where we stand right now?
No, you're actually really close to that area.
Yeah,
And yeah, you guys do have a
yeah.
little bit of time if you wanted to, prior to a long rest, um, head out into the city and do investigations of your own.
Yeah, I'll go with you, Otto, and you and Phi can head in that direction.
We can probably cover more ground if
Yeah,
the three of us go.
yeah, and
I could also go with like any scouting thing like that.
oh yeah, you can also fly.
Yep. If we
And
wanted
Siren
to
can
like
also, and
split into
Harmony
more
can also
groups.
fly.
So keep in
I
mind,
do fly.
We
you don't know what
potentially-
the guard situation is after your
Yeah,
situation. You don't know if they've seen your faces or so you might want to be careful out there.
yeah. I was just joking at the last part. I'm gonna
me,
polymorph into a bird to do that.
I'm gonna send Phi out ahead of me
Okay.
to let me know if I can sneak through. Make sure that there's no guards.
Okay.
Or sneak around the guards.
And Lazuli, after you had your private time, did you want to regroup with the party?
I want to poke my nose around the workshop.
Okay. So we'll go to Lazuli for a second. Roll investigation.
10.
You say 10?
Yeah.
You don't find anything useful in particular. There's a lot of powders. Everything in here looks kind of dangerous. So,
Okay.
kind of seeing what he's worked with and what he's done, and just knowing Bog Siege and the character that he is, you are hesitant to really touch anything in here. There's a lot of mixed powders and alchemical substances, sort of half tinkered with and left floating around in vials.
Okay.
Some of them have
Yeah.
various creature parts on the inside of them as well, sort of mixed into these potions and concoctions that he's messing with in here.
Love that. I'll regroup with the party.
Okay.
Before we leave, I do want to ask Gali for like a hooded cloak so that I can hide my face.
He nods and whispers to one of the servants, who disappears for a moment, just phases out of existence, and a moment later appears right next to you, just staring right at you, full-faced, the male servant with his little antlers, and hands you a cloak.
Definitely jump when he just appears next to me, but I slowly and cautiously take the cloak from him.
Stands there,
Am I back with
continues
them?
staring at you. Yeah, you walk in just as this interaction takes place with the cloak. The servant just still stands staring at you, expectantly waiting for another command, excited to help, excited to serve you. Doesn't blink, just stares you down.
Can I ask both Mises and Bogsy, or not Bogsy, Golly, can that actually leave the mansion?
It can. It can.
Interesting.
Yeah, I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. You know, I've been around a couple times. He kicks his feet up, leans back. Did you want something? Would you like
No,
anything?
nothing right now, but it's an incredibly useful thing to have in your toolkit.
Remember, it's pretty limited. You know, I can't get you anything too intricate or too elaborate, but you know, some simple things. There are some things that I can have them manifest, so we can remove it from the mansion.
How many of them can you manifest at once?
There's a limit to how many things I can create total over the duration of this particular spell, but I can always recast it if I need to. Hey, do you got an idea? You need something? The servant like its ears perk up as if it's expecting you to ask for something, and it's excited.
Just sort of a more general idea of being able to trip the guards up with just a lot of people.
Trip the guards up. What do you have in mind?
If they start chasing after us, we can basically make a wall of people and to slow them down as we run away.
Well,
It's a worst case scenario idea.
I can't cast anything outside of the mansion, and
So they would have to come with us.
the servants can't leave. Servants can't leave. They can just create certain things that you can take out with you.
Got you.
Simple things. Again, nothing too elaborate. But I mean, if you want to think about it, you know how to get back here now. I will make sure you all have the ability to access the door to get yourselves back inside. If you want to take some time to get yourselves together, absolutely. You are welcome to come back and rest here at any time. Your rooms are all prepared. As for me, I got a particular task I want to take care of before I personally rest, so I'm gonna head off and do that. But the rest of the band is here, and there's some people sleeping and resting, but there should be a couple awake, and the servants will be here in case you need anything. All right?
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. He grabs his hurdy-gurdy, straps it to his back, and steps out of the room towards the parlor and the exit. What would you guys like to do?
I'll let Lizzie know. A few of us were planning on going and doing some nighttime reconnaissance before we rest, if you wanted to join us at all.
I think I'll avoid associating with the people who just blew up half a guard unit.
As if you weren't one of them.
As far as anyone else knows, I wasn't.
So do you have any particular plans with Lizzie? What would you like to do?
So it's dusk. The sun just set.
Yep. Remember, you've got basically as much time as you want to rest. So you'll have 8 hours to get your full rest in. I'd say if you guys do want to separate, come up with a time that you can all get back here and get your rest in at the same time.
Like to go for a walk, I think, in the Agora.
Okay.
And then head towards the other side of the city.
The southern side?
Yeah.
Okay. And Otto and Miaces, the two of you are going to scout together?
I think
Yeah.
Ashi and maybe Harmony were also going to come.
Okay, all four of you?
Yeah, I'm interested in scouting.
How about you, Harmony?
I kind of want to follow what's his face that just left.
Golly?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
You'll have to sort of dart out now if you want to keep up with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Harmony immediately just darts out of the room.
my polymorph is gonna last for an hour, so I'm gonna be back in an hour. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 hour and we all meet back here. I can
Sounds
try
good.
to fetch Harmony later if she's still missing.
Okay.
Since she's not here to hear this.
Yeah, I believe Wild Shape also lasts an hour, right? I think.
Yes. Let me double check that, but I believe so.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's an hour.
It depends on what level you cast it at. Actually, 4th level druid can remain wild shaped for 2 hours, so you can remain wild shaped for 2 hours, and you're still level 9. Next level, if you reach level 10, you can do it for 5 hours.
Oh wow. Well, I guess it depends on where I'm scouting. So for scouting team, I guess was there 3 of us?
Yep, there's Otto, Miaces, and you.
So we're gonna scout the fortress where she's being held?
Yeah, we're gonna try to fly around the windows and see if we can't find the one that she's in. Because if we can get an exact location, that'll make Lazuli's job a little easier.
Well, we already know that we can see
the temple.
Temple of Keranos from the window,
Do
which
we
is
know
on
how
an
far
island.
away the Temple of Keranos is from it?
It's not very far off the shore. Do you still have the map? I can link it again. I'll put it in tabletop chat.
I just basically wanted to ask if it's like within a mile.
Oh yeah, it's well within a mile. It's right off the shore.
Yeah.
Basically,
Okay, so
I'll link the map again just in case you need it. And immediately along that eastern wall is just cliffside that leads down to beach. And the temple is not even a quarter mile off the shore.
okay, so if you go to the temple and we overlook from there, any windows that we can see, it's
you'll still have to make your way through the city and head in that direction.
Yeah,
so
we'll need to get a boat and hop across the water. Right? That's the temple that's on the water.
If they're flying, if Otto's flying and Fi is flying, you can. You don't necessarily have to be there on foot. Miaces.
Oh.
Otto, if you wanted to scout a different area, or if you did want to head to the temple on foot, you can as well. But yeah, you would have to get some sort of a boat and get over there. That would take longer than an hour.
So wait, are we heading in the same direction as Lazuli for right now? I think so, right?
I'm confused on y'all's intention. I thought you were going to go.
Nobody's
She's
left
being
yet.
held in the fortress.
Nobody's left yet. Nobody's left yet.
Yeah, I thought we were going to go stop the fortress.
Only Harmony has darted off, so you all can have your discussion about where you'd like to go and how you'd like to get there.
Where she's being kept overlooks the temple.
Yes, but the temple is some ways away from the fortress, so you'd be better off going directly to the fortress and searching the windows of the fortress.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's obviously gonna be on the side that will be overlooking the temple, so we have to search for that side. Yeah.
Correct, but you would still be going north. You wouldn't be going directly east to the temple. You would just be on the east side of the building.
Yeah. I think that maybe we go to like a midway point between the temple and the fortress. And like fly around from there and look at it instead of having you guys fly to the temple and then fly back to the fortress.
What's the point of going to the temple?
Oh yeah, opening the map. Yeah, okay, opening the map. We're gonna be between the north and west side of the. Is it on the lighthouse? It is, right?
No, it's the island off the east coast. You can hover over it and it'll show you the name, Temple of Keranos.
Yeah, I see the temple, but the tower where she's being kept.
It's up in the north. It's the fortress of the Flying
Zephyria. I see. Okay. So it's gonna be on the southeast part of the fortress.
Yeah. Well,
correct.
Classic got it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We can do that. Yeah. Sure.
We shouldn't get.
That's better.
Or at least I shouldn't get too close to the temple itself. Sorry, not the temple, the fortress itself. Do I know what the Palestra Magna is, Bird? Or no?
You've passed by it. You've really not interacted with the structure at all.
Okay.
But you can ask around town if you'd like any more information on it.
I'd also like to fly sorry.
I'm just like looking for a place to park myself away from the fortress because I'm the only one that can't transform into a bird.
Palestra Magna. Didn't I see a book about that?
You did see when you went into that house with the old woman and had to hide yourself. You saw a poster of the Palestra Magna.
Oh, it was a poster. Yeah.
There's a poster on the wall. Yeah, and it appeared to show fighters of some kind. So where would you like to head? So let's say for now, Harmony has gone off, and we'll get to you, Harmony, in a minute. Lazuli, I assume you're splitting off to move southeast into the city towards the Agora.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So Lazuli splits off, heads off in that direction. So Otto, Miaces, and Ashi, you've just exited from behind the theater on the west side. That little patch of woods that you can see, sort of southwest of the theater, that's where it's all the way up.
Where
The theater's
where
up in
are
the
we?
north. You see the big Temple of Heliod, the big golden building up there?
Yes, the
Directly
theaters. I
southwest,
see
the
the
theater's right there,
theater.
and that little patch of woods to the southwest there, that's where the magnificent mansion is.
Okay.
And that's where you guys are exiting right now. So Lazuli has moved off to the southeast. Where would you guys like to go? What path would you like to take?
I think we
Well,
should.
since I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, are you guys polymorphing like right now, or are we
I
gonna?
feel
or
like
are
it
you
would
guys...
be smartest for us to do it now, so we're not like seen walking through the city.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn myself into I got plenty of time, an hour to just go as a bird and return
Okay.
as a bird.
Then I am gonna send Fi out ahead of me, and I'm gonna just walk kind of directly east. I want to go to like this little jumble of buildings to the southwest of the fortress. I think that's where I'm gonna stay.
Okay, towards like
If-
behind where
if-
the House of Ixonis is.
A little north of that, but yeah, like kind of where the trees are. The big jumble
Southeast
of
of the
trees.
theater.
Southeast of the fortress. No, sorry, southwest of the fortress, southeast of the theater. Yes,
Okay.
I know directions.
Yeah, so right near where the Palestra Magna is, and the Temple of Erois, right there, that little cluster of buildings
Yes.
above it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would be where Uzma's house was.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I want to be in that area, actually.
Well, you can definitely use Phi to scout it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Phi to scout out Uzma's house specifically.
Okay.
And see if there's still anyone outside.
Okay. Do you want to? I don't know what. Well, we'll say for this situation, you still have all your Beal because we didn't actually utilize Beal in the previous session since we did the rework. You could use your look through the eyes ability.
We're taking a long rest after this, right?
Yes.
And then yeah, I'll do my look through the eyes.
Okay. So I'm going to mark you for that for a second, and then Ashi, did you want to stick with Miaces? You're going. You're taking cat form, is it?
No, I was gonna turn to a bird as well.
Oh, to a bird as well. Okay. What kind of bird?
Sorry, is Phi a crow or a raven?
Crow.
I was gonna turn to a crow so it doesn't look suspicious with us flying together.
Okay.
Yeah, little family of crows.
Otto,
Exactly. So it's just a bunch of crows.
Otto, you're
Yeah,
a crow as well.
crow.
A murder of
Yeah.
crows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
So Ashi and Otto are both crow forms with Phi. Are you splitting off from Phi? Do you want to head in different directions, or where do you guys want to head? Sticking together.
Where was Phi headed currently?
Phi
To
is scouting for me around Uzma's house because I need somewhere to lay low while this happens.
which is also still pretty close to the fortress, but it's south in like a more residential area.
I think we can go ahead and just head to the fortress unless we want to stick together.
Up to you guys.
You guys can go on ahead. Phi can find you. She's fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of you want to head for the fortress, and then Miaces with Phi scouting ahead will head towards Uzma's home.
Yes.
Okay, so you all set off in your directions. We're going to jump to Harmony first. So Harmony.
Yep.
You're able to get out pretty quickly, and you see Gali making his way south down a narrow street into that more residential area behind the House of Ixonis. You're following along?
Yep.
Okay, roll stealth for me.
16.
16? Okay. So you follow him along. You come to the building. You come to that main street. When you first got here, you had arrived on the Beach of Tears, and you had seen that procession moving up this street. Across the way, you see what was marked as the Hall of the Triarchs. You see Gali head into the main square, the main courtyard, which is an open interior surrounded by the structure of the Hall of Triarchs. You want to follow him inside?
So we're in the Hall of the Triarchs right now?
Are you going to follow
Like
him in?
the courtyard? Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, you follow him in. He's moving across the courtyard towards a structure in the back. Roll stealth again, moving into the courtyard.
Can I actually cast hold on.
Sure.
Misty Step?
Where do you want to Misty Step to?
Wait, no, not Misty Step. That's not the one I want. Passed Without Trace.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you still want me to roll for stealth again?
I believe you have a +10, right, for stealth with Pass Without a Trace?
Let me check.
Yeah, +10. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be +10.
So go ahead and roll your stealth and make sure you add that +10.
So I rolled a dirty 20, so it'd be a 30.
30. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you move in. You find just a small garden area where there are some individuals mingling about. You're able to fly over there and, being small enough, easily hide yourself amongst the people and the decorations and decor and furniture in the area over there. You watch Golly move up to a building up in the corner of the area. He stops, turns around, looks around. Seems like he's checking the area pretty thoroughly. Finally, he seems content. Doesn't see you at all. Never really makes eye contact. Passes over you a couple times, but you're pretty confident that he didn't spot you. After that, he opens the door to the structure, which is on the far southeastern side of the courtyard, and closes the door behind him. Moves up inside.
Is there any other way to get in there except for the door?
There's several windows. So there's 2 windows on the lower level on both sides of the door, and there's windows moving up along the building as well. It's a 3-story building.
Can I want to go through one of the windows that's next to the door then.
Okay. You can move up.
Assuming I can.
You can move up to the window. You want to try and open it?
Oh, I have to open it?
They are closed. Yes.
So there's like no way to go in without opening something.
Right. You'd have to open a door or a window or some way to get in. You can try and move up around to the roof to see if there's anything additional up there, but from what you can see, the only way in from the front are the doors and the windows that are closed.
Can I still see Golly through a window or no?
You want to move up to that window along the side of the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving up alongside, peering in, you see Golly. You just see his back, and he's moving up a staircase upstairs.
Okay.
Sitting inside, there's a desk. There's an old lady sitting at the desk. An old human lady. And aside from that, you don't see anybody else in the room.
All right, I'll go through the door.
Just open it and head inside.
Yep.
Okay.
But I don't want to don't close the door. So like like in like the scary movies where like the doors just like creep open sort of thingy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you want to try to get in without her seeing you?
Well, I mean, she shouldn't see me. She should just see the door randomly open.
But you want to move inside, or you just want to open the door?
No, I want to go inside too.
Okay, so roll stealth.
I rolled a 13, so that'd
Plus
be a
10.
23.
23. Okay. So you pop the door open. She does peer over in the direction for a moment. She looks down. She closes up a bit of a tome that she was writing in. Gets up and moves towards the door, and you just take the moment that she's not looking to dash inside. And you get yourself hidden in the hallway next to her desk. She sort of moves past you to close the door. What would you like to do?
Go upstairs.
Okay. Roll stealth again.
29.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, you're able to get behind her. As she moves up, she closes the door, has her back to you. You fly quickly up the stairs. As you reach the top of the stairs, you look to your right and you see Golly moving down the hallway.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. Roll stealth again.
22 plus 32.
32. Excellent. Okay, so you hide behind some potted plants in the hallway, just decorative plants. Golly stops again, and he looks around. He stops in front of a big door, pretty fancy door with a nameplate in front of it. You can't see what it is just yet. But he stops, he looks around very carefully, waits almost a full 30 seconds to a minute as he sort of gazes around, glances, makes sure nobody's looking. Leans up against the wall for a moment as well, just sort of, acts nonchalant. When he seems confident that there's nobody coming around and nobody's going to be looking, he knocks on the door very quickly, very lightly, pops it open, and moves inside and closes the door behind him.
What's up with this guy and closing doors? And there's no other way in there to go in the room, I'm assuming.
No, just that door.
And did I hear how he did the knock?
He just knocked lightly twice.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna follow him.
You want to try and open the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Carefully, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. Roll stealth again.
23.
Okay, so you pop the door open just barely, keeping very silent as you do. You're able to just crack it open and move inside. Do you want to be low to the floor, high up and towards the top of it? How do you want to move in?
To the top?
Top. Try to stay around the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. So you pop in. You're able to very quickly just move up from the top of the door into the ceiling. Golly looks behind him, notices the door open, walks underneath you as you're sort of held against the ceiling, keeping yourself as still and quiet as possible. He pops the door open, looks around in the hallway a couple times, seems to brush it off as maybe he didn't close it all the way, and closes the door, double checks this time, gives it a couple pulls to make sure it's sealed. Looking in the room, you see a human woman. She has her hair done up very nicely, and she has these beautiful blue robes with a purple sash over her shoulder. I'm going to give you an image. That's her there in the center.
That's from a video game.
Golly moves up and sits down at the table in front of her. Says, Triarch. It's been a minute. Sorry, it took me a minute to get here, but we had some things go down. You know how it is. But we made some new friends. It's a really exciting time. She looks very cross. She folds her hands in front of her at the desk that she's sitting behind. And leans in. She says, I heard there was an explosive incident at the gateway to the Phalanx Fortress. Golly looks a little nervous. Yeah, there was a little something happened. You didn't tell me that there was going to be an Acrossi general in town, but he came after one of our guys that was going to support us, and arrested him. So we had to take action. And you know what? They also arrested Belle, which you didn't give us a heads up about. She leans back. She still looks very cross and very upset. Says, look, I didn't know that he was going to be in town today. I tried to delay him as long as I could, but unfortunately, these Acrossi guys, especially their generals, their military leaders, seem to do things as they please. Whatever happens, I don't know what he suspects and what he knows, but he decided to show up early. I'm sorry I couldn't get a warning out to you, but there was nothing I could do at the time. Golly leans back and says, it's okay. I understand. Things happen. It's fine. I just want to make sure that you're not upset with me, because we only did what we had to do. She uncrosses her hands and sits back in her seat, looks at him and says, fine. He cuts her off from him and says, just so you know, we do have a couple plans before the show. Obviously, we have to get Belle out of prison. If you can get me any information, anything that will help me locate her, I would appreciate it. Our mutual friend would very, very much appreciate it. And aside from that, anything that you can do to assist us, because we are gonna make a little bit more of a ruckus. Okay, it's gonna be fine. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about anything. We're gonna take care of it. We're just gonna go in there, cause a little distraction. We're gonna get her out, and then we're gonna go about our business as planned. Okay? Do you want to do anything while they're conversing, by the way, or you just want to wait and listen?
I just want to wait and listen.
Okay. Speak up at any time if you want to take an action or do anything, okay?
I mean, is there anything in the room that would pique my interest outside of the conversation?
Roll investigation.
Hold on, I have to find it.
No worries.
Ew, I rolled an 8.
Yeah, you look around the room. You're pretty nervous because you're basically just held against the ceiling in the corner of the room, quietly trying to hide yourself. And from that perspective, it's hard to really spot anything of note. But it looks to be like a politician's office of sorts. Um, there's several bookshelves, very fancy lounge furniture in one corner of the room. There's a big open air window behind. But you notice there's a bit of a shimmer, as if it's protected by some sort of spell work, as you sort of closely gaze at it. Aside from that, you don't notice anything in particular that draws your attention.
So it's a window that I would not be able to leave from.
It's hard to tell. You can see the shimmer of some sort of maybe barrier or spell work. You're not sure if you could pass through it or what kind of spell it is particularly, but
Okay.
it'd be a risk for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Continuing their conversation, the woman behind the desk says, "Look, I understand you have to get Belle out. I'll do what I can to support you, but understand my position is very limited, and if any of you get caught, I won't be able to help you out anymore. You understand? Helping you for me has been very dangerous, and it continues to be very dangerous. I appreciate our mutual friend, and I appreciate what you're doing and what you're trying to do, but don't get caught, or you will most likely be executed, and I will not be able to step in. Do you understand?" Golly leans back again. He's like, "Yeah, look, there's a lot of risks to what we do. I understand. Don't worry, we won't get caught. We got these new friends. They got all kinds of abilities and skills. It's amazing. They're really cool. You would love them. I don't think you should meet them, but you would love them. But don't worry about it. We're gonna take care of it. It's gonna be fine." She looks at him again. "You have your goblin under control, correct?" So, God, Bogsiege? Yeah. Don't even worry about it. Bogsiege is a professional. He's very well educated and intelligent, and he's gonna handle this job just fine. Don't worry about it. Look, the last time you said that, Golly cuts her off. So, sorry, it's fine. It happened. It's in the past. We've corrected the issue. It's fine. Don't worry about it. She leans back again. She writes something out on a scroll, rolls it up, puts a seal and a stamp on it, and hands it to him. Says, "Please give this to our mutual friend. He requested this specifically, okay?" Golly grabs it, slides it into a satchel that he has on his side. Says, "Absolutely. Absolutely. I just wanted to keep you updated and let you know that everything is still mostly going according to plan, with a couple changes." She says, "Well, please try not to deviate anymore. I put myself at enough risk, and I don't feel like putting myself in any more. You understand?" Golly nods. He says, "Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely." He stands up, reaches out to shake her hand, and she sort of sneers at him for a moment, squints her eyes, does not return the gesture. Golly's like, it's been a really great conversation. You look great. I love seeing you again, and I'm just I'll see you soon. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry about anything." And he turns around and exits, closes the door behind him. The woman herself stands up, gives a very exasperated sigh, turns around and stares out into the courtyard as Golly walks out of the courtyard down below.
So now I'm in the room with the woman,
Yes.
and all she's doing is looking out the window.
Yeah, she's watching Golly leave. From your position on the ceiling, you can see Golly walking back out across the courtyard into the town below.
Okay, and how long was that whole entire conversation?
Just a few minutes. It was a short interaction.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Is there anything near me that I could pick up and throw?
Not on the ceiling.
Well, I mean, you said that like
there's some
so I'm
shelves
not near the
nearby.
bookcases, right?
No, you'd have to move further into the room to get to those shelves.
Got it. Hmm. Can I want to inspect her desk because she's not looking at it currently, right?
No, she has her back turned to it. Do you want to fly up to it?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll stealth again.
27.
Okay. Yeah, so you fly up to the desk. I won't have you roll investigation or anything on this one. Looking about the desk, there's several scribbled notes and tomes. Taking some quick glances at them and skimming things over, a lot of them look like she's preparing political bills of sorts. One of them looks like a pretty radical proclamation about the imprisonment in the city. It seems to be a bill that's addressing wrongful imprisonment, uh, injustice in the trial system, things like that. It's very long and very wordy, so you don't look too deep into it. Um, Aside from that, she has a list of individuals, a list of names. You don't recognize anything in particular. There's a name, Veloa Mason. I'll write it. I'm going to write these in the chat for you as well.
Thank you.
Veloa Mason is the first one. The second that you see is Giselle, simply. The other name that you see is Archmage Corin Euphoros, and I've misspelled that one out for you as well. And the last name that you see is Iskelos Pry. She has an asterisk next to the name Veloa Mason.
Okay.
Aside from that, it's just some various knickknacks and things sitting on the desk. There's a very small hilted dagger. Looks more ceremonial to you. It has a golden hilt with several jewels encrusted on the sides, and it seems to have some sort of inscription underneath that you can make out, but you can't quite read.
How big is it?
A general human-sized dagger.
And her back is still turned.
Her back is still turned.
Can I take the dagger?
Yeah, roll sleight of hand if you want to move up and grab it.
18.
Okay, and you want to stick it in your bag of holding?
Yep.
Okay. So you fly up to the desk, you grab the dagger, she starts to turn around.
Okay.
You have sort of a split second to try and make a move. What would you like to do?
So I do or do not have the dagger.
You do have the dagger. You are able to slot it into your bag of holding, and as you look up, you notice that she's turning around.
Okay, but she still cannot see me, technically, correct?
I mean, you're right on top of her desk, so if she turns around, you will be in vision, in her sight.
So I don't have my invisibility up anymore.
You're not invisible. You have pass without a trace. It gives you additional bonuses on stealth. Does not make you completely invisible.
But it says
Yeah.
a veil of shadows and silence radiates from me.
Yes, which sort of cloaks you, but if you're still sitting on a desk in plain sight, you're not invisible.
You're right. Okay. Well, I will zoom up to the ceiling again.
Straight up to the ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay, roll your stealth.
Hold on, I have to scroll back up.
That's okay.
18 plus 3 is 21. 31.
31. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just as she's turning, you're able to just get above her head and out of eye shot as she turns around. She grabs a couple pieces of paper on her desk, including that list of names, and moves to walk out of the room. Opens the door and heads outside.
Okay, so the door is open.
The door's closed, and she just left. She closed the door behind her.
Why does everybody close doors here?
They don't live in a barn, Siren. This is.
Well, I'm all alone in the room now, right?
Yes.
And I want to throw a book at the window.
Okay. You want to grab a book and throw it at the window?
Yeah.
Okay, you do so. The book goes right through.
figures. I'm gonna go through the door.
You're gonna open the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Walking out, opening the door and looking outside, she's stopped and she's looking back, like turning around to look back at the room. Like she seems startled.
Okay.
What are you gonna
So
do?
does she see me then?
She's turning around as you open the door, so you have a split second to make a move. What would you like to do, Harmony?
I have to figure this out. Let's go through the window.
Okay. You want to leave the door open or close it behind
Close it behind me.
you? Okay, so you close the door right as she's turning around, and you want to go right out the window and through.
Yeah.
Okay, you dart out the window. You do feel like you triggered some sort of magical spell. But you're out. You move through. You don't take any damage. You don't notice anything that happens in particular aside from the essence of some magic that you pass through. But you're out in the air above the courtyard.
Okay. Do I still do? Golly is probably long gone by now.
You do not see Golly anywhere.
All right, let's just go back to where the cabin shack thing
Okay.
is.
Okay. So we're going to jump then from Harmony. So you're heading back towards the mansion location. Okay. And we're going to go to Otto, Mrs., and Ashi. Everybody prepared?
Yes.
Yes.
And Otto?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So Otto and Ashi, you both take crow form. You move up into the air, and you said you wanted to head towards the fortress walls, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you fly off. Mrs., you're down below. You're moving east with Phi scouting the area ahead of you. You wanted to stop for a moment and use your ability to see through the eyes of Phi, correct?
Yes, I'm specifically scouting Uzma's house to see if there are any guards outside or maybe inside.
Okay. Okay. So you find a quiet space in the streets, and you utter the concentration ability, and you're able to sort of fade out of your sight and see through the eyes of Phi. Uh, you have incredible vision with Phi, and you're able to sort of almost zoom in like a camera lens and see things pretty close from up high. So flying through the main center. Do you have a question? Sorry.
No, I said awesome. Sorry.
Okay. So Phi crosses that main street up towards the Temple of Heliod. You immediately noticed a bit of an increased guard presence out here. They're moving around in packs of 4 and 6. Phi spots about just a little over a dozen at least moving up and down this main thoroughfare from the Temple of Heliod, from the Phalanx barracks area, and down towards the southeast portion of the city. They seem to be looking very closely at people as they pass around and pass by. Some of them stop, question people for a moment. Some people, they move to the side of the street, question further. Others just patrol, moving back up and down throughout the streets. But for the most part, most people are moving about and avoiding them, and they seem to get through okay. Passing over, there's one phalanx guard who's stationed up and standing directly in front of Uzma's door, which is still wrecked and knocked down. The window in the front is still smashed and shattered, but there is one phalanx guard standing there. Flying over that residential area, Phi spots an additional 3 guards sort of patrolling the streets and alleyways in that area.
Okay. I'm gonna look around for something else now. I want to see if I can spot any like concentration of beggars in the city or anything.
Okay. Definitely in this area, you spot at least 2 or 3. A couple of them are asleep against the sides of buildings or in alleyways in the back.
And are the guards just kind of not paying attention to them?
Passing them by, not paying any attention at all.
Okay. Okay. Then I Is there like one like specific little alleyway that there's like a little collection of them at all? Or
Flying
are they
about
just
the
kind of
area,
spread?
yeah, flying about the area, you do spot an area to the northeast that's up against one of the walls overlooking the beaches in the cliffside, close to where the wall interlinks with that main fortress. There's a
Okay.
cluster of a small area that sort of has haphazardly built little wooden structures. That there are several individuals asleep, and some of them they seem to be cooking over a small fire in a small clay pot.
Then I'm gonna head in that direction and be cautious of as I pass by.
Okay.
Just kind of like I want to kind of like shamble as if I'm maybe drunk
Okay.
and also keep my head down. Like I
Okay.
have to look at my feet to see where I'm going.
Roll deception as you pass through the main thoroughfare.
Okay. 15, 16, 18.
Okay. So you're able to pass through. A couple of the guards sort of glance in your direction, but continue moving about. Don't really seem to care about you. You're able to cross the street and get. You want to move directly towards that area.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like go and take a seat and take like the small cup out of my ration kit and just like put it next to me, I guess.
Okay. You sit there for a minute. One of the guards passes by, doesn't even seem to pay any attention to you. As you're doing that, we're gonna go to Otto and Ashi. So you fly over. You're able to sort of keep an eye on Phi and Miaces as Miaces moves through that area around by Uzma's house. You pass over it, and you're now flying on the eastern portion of the city, overlooking the cliffside structure of the Phalanx Fortress.
How spread apart are each window?
So, kind of flying off over the water and getting a wide angle view of the structure. You notice several areas that have very large, open, like cliffside walls that have massive open areas. Look like they're maybe 16 feet tall. You can see rows of doors in this area, and you can see several guards patrolling up and down what is basically a narrow pathway. There's also several more hallways that disappear further, and this is on the upper levels of the structure. Further down, you can see several small windows that look similar to the interior window of the prison cell of Bell that you had seen in your scrying cast. Each one of these rooms or these windows is only about 6 feet apart. You can assume the rooms are very small and narrow on the interior, but there's dozens of them, and they line the structure in 8 rows going down to the beach surface down below.
Should we split?
Yeah, I was thinking that we could split. Do we have a way to communicate?
Not in your form.
I can't. I can only communicate in crow form.
Yeah.
But
you can speak crow.
So, will Phi be able to understand what he's saying?
Yeah, that's my question. If we're all crows, can we communicate just by talking like a crow?
You can't communicate just by talking with like a crow, because unless you have speak with animals or anything of that nature. But while you're in the shape, you can sort of like when you do speak, it comes out in the language of the creature, but you're still not like fluent in the language of a crow. Yeah, so you can't communicate with each other by crow speech, but you can make noise at each other.
I'm gonna make a noise at Otto and then fly like down towards the bottom of the uh like the bottom row and hope that he gets what I'm doing.
Are you following, Otto?
Well, Otto is, but Crow Otto, I don't know. Yeah, my original plan was to do that, so I think I can go to the upper rolls.
There you go.
Okay. So you want
So
to?
I'm just gonna start looking through, fly through, starting at the bottom.
Okay.
Is there any like guards or like who is like moving about the area?
So down below on the beach, you notice a small military vessel. There's several paddles that extend from the sides of this vessel, and they're armed with cannons on the front, back, and sides. So this is some sort of combat vessel. You notice an Acrossi symbol on its sail.
It's on the beach or in the water?
It's in the water, so the front
Okay.
portion of it is beached. Most of it is in the water, but it looks like it's weighed and parked out there at the moment. Off in the distance, you also see a larger Acrossi warship. It's pretty far off the walls of the city, but as you sort of get lower and you're on the waterline, you can see its flags off in the distance. Down below, you see a contingent of Acrossi soldiers. They have what looks to be a makeshift camp set up in front of the ship. You notice at least 24 of them. Different levels of Acrossi soldiers. You see a couple who have more adornments on their helmets, which would indicate that they're higher ranking officers. And there's a good number of them down here on the beach, sort of like setting up in a temporary forward military camp of sorts. You also see just a handful of phalanx military soldiers as well in that camp with those Acrossi soldiers, as well as one that looks a bit like a dignitary. He has not armor but robes, but he still dons the helmet of the phalanx soldiers. I'm going to give you a couple images as well. As you pass by the windows, do you want to stop any of the windows, or you just want to fly past and around them?
I kind of want to do like a quick like one over, like just do like a swoop and like look at all of them, see if anything catches my attention.
Okay.
I mean, like
Otto?
I'm looking for Belle, but like I mean, I don't know how
Yeah.
much I could see from a quick like swoop. Like I'm trying to not bring
Yeah.
attention to myself.
They're small windows, so if you choose to, you can like land in the windows and peek inside. Moving past, you can't really make out anybody in particular. You can see people in various states pacing in these rooms and
Are
sitting
they all
and
like?
laying.
Do they seem full? Like how like full? Like doing like a
It's just
swoop? Like are they?
one person per cell, but yeah, every one of these cells has somebody moving about inside.
Oh boy.
So
Because I need to
down,
get a better view in them, but I don't want to like. I feel like it's gonna look suspicious if a bird just like hops between each window.
so that's what the Acrossi soldiers look like down on the beach.
Oh, I have to scroll down.
It's in the tabletop chat. Yep.
Where
And
is my cursor?
moving from window to window, there are several people that you make out on the inside. You also notice a small door at the bottom of the cliff between these windows at what do you assume is the base level of this structure, unless it goes underground by any means, you're not sure. But there's two Neolantin phalanx guards stationed and guarding this door with large spears and shields.
Okay, so there's the two people standing outside guarding the door.
Yes.
To that.
Otto, anything that you wanted in particular to do here?
No, I was just gonna do about the same. Just quickly glance inside, see if I can locate Belle.
So you just want to go window to window? Do you want to stop, or do you just want to fly by?
I'm only gonna fly by each window if I can have a look without having to stop.
Okay, so both of you roll investigation for me as you pass from window to window.
Okay. And I also wanted to check since I had the vision of the window. Is there anything I can roll to maybe have a better understanding of where I can locate it?
Where you can locate Belle, or
Yeah, which window or which row? Like I had a vision of the window overlooking the
so you
cliffs
want
and
to
the
kind
temple.
of try and like triangulate?
Yeah, the angle that I saw
Okay.
it. Can I try to figure out from which row it could be at least?
Sure. Yeah. Roll investigation and perception for me.
Okay. Investigation 14, Perception 12.
Okay. And Ashi?
I just rolled a natural 20 on investigation.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So the two of you, let's say, working together with your combined rolls. Otto, you're able to sort of like fly back and forth and get like a perspective of your vision and the windows, but you can't get quite a precise location. But you know it's somewhere on the fourth row of windows is your guess, or the fourth and fifth rows. You sort of squawk a couple times at Ashi and indicate fly circles in the area that this is something that is of interest. Ashi flies in and gets a more thorough look on the inside. And for just a second, as you're flying by, you get the view of the back of a blonde-haired woman.
Nice.
Do you want to check that cell out closer?
Yes.
Okay, so moving up, you land on the wall of the window, peek inside for a moment. You do see, based on the description that you received from the band and from Otto's scrying, what you believe to be Belle, standing holding on to the very small bars on the window of the door, keeping her cell locked. So this is on the fifth row of windows, so it's on the fifth level up from the beach level on the ground. And it is the 17th window over.
Man, I got a lot of cells.
Yeah, there's dozens of cells on these floors.
Alright. So now that we know she's here, are there, looking up and down the hallway, are there any are there any guards in the hallway that I can see?
You can't see into the hallway. You can only see into this particular cell and through the windows and the doors, which are very, very tiny. It looks like there's another cell across from this one that you can see. You see a similar door and window. You can hang out for
hold
a moment.
on. For some reason, I was thinking so these are just windows. The doors aren't on
Yeah,
the
these are.
side of the wall.
No, you are on the outside of the cliff face, and the windows are
Okay,
on
for
the
some
cliff
reason
face.
I thought it
Yeah.
was like. I misunderstood it. Okay.
You're cutting off.
You cut out a little bit, yeah.
Sorry, no, I
You're
just
good.
misunderstood, but I got it now.
Okay.
Because you said that there were guards flanking a door down at the bottom. I guess the bottom layer has a walkway?
There's no walkway. It's just a door on the beach at the base of the cliffside that would lead into the building from below.
Oh, okay. So that would have been an entranceway. I thought it was
Yeah.
another cell. Okay.
No, yeah, the cell doors are not on the outside. Just the windows.
Yeah,
the cell doors are in the
okay.
interior.
That makes more sense.
Anything else you guys would like to do out here?
I assume the windows are made out of metal bars.
Yeah, there's steel bars that you can tell. The walls are just carved stone into the cliffside. So the cells in the interior are carved out of the mountain.
And where Belle is, the cell that goes off to the hallway, that's all made of stone.
Yes, it
What's
looks
the
like
door made of?
Looks like a large,
Stone?
heavy stone door.
Okay.
With again
So we're also
a very tiny window with metal bars, small metal bars.
Okay, so we know that from the outside it's the 17th window, but if we're in the inside, how are we gonna count that if we can't see the windows? I'm not saying that, I'm thinking that. Are we landed on the window? Can we land there?
Ashi is landed there. You can
I'm on
if you
the
like.
window.
What would you like to do, Otto?
You kind of want to catch Belle's attention then. Just beak on the the bars.
Okay, so you want to land on the window next to Ashi and just make some noise?
Yeah, just some tiny noise so that to catch her attention.
Okay. Yeah, she turns around and glances, sees the birds. She looks determined. Is the best gauge of her emotional state that you can see. She's got a very stern, strong face. Doesn't acknowledge the two of you at all, stares at you for a moment, then looks back out the window of the door. We'll pause you guys for a moment there. Think about what you'd like to do. Miasis. So as you're sort of disguise yourself there in the back, did you want Fi to take any other actions, or just keep patrolling this particular area?
Yeah, no, since no one's really interacting with me, I will go ahead and send her out. How far down? It's like pretty far down that the cells are, right?
Yeah, several hundred feet down to the beach.
Okay. Then I want to have her scout out the upper floors. I want to know what that looks like.
So towards like fly over the top of the fortress.
Well, the side of it still, like, there's still big windows there, right?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah. The side of it, just like near the top layer, and I want to use my sight again to look through her eyes so that I can see what she sees.
Okay, that's another point of be all. And again, you fade back out of yourself for a moment. You get the sight of Fi as she flies over. She flies directly over the top at first. You see that same fortress area, the wall that you guys had sort of posted up on, and were able to rescue Uzma in that battle in our previous session. A lot of people seem like they're doing repairs there, but it's still the sort of rock slide that Bog Siege had created is still creating quite the mess down there. One of the watchtowers is very badly damaged, and they have it being held up by scaffolding at the moment. You see quite a few individuals out there working to clear the mess at the moment and also repair that watchtower.
Are there guards, or is it just like?
Yeah, there's several guards out there.
Okay.
Nobody that draws your attention. You don't notice any faces. But you see at least a half dozen Neolantin phalanx guards with one commander-looking individual standing out there.
Okay.
And you want to move out to the side and windows?
Yes, I want to take a look in there.
Okay. So Fi flies off to the side, lowers down, and begins to soar past the side of the cliffside structure. Moving past and towards the larger open areas of the structure, you do notice several guards patrolling back and forth. There's what look to be dozens of cell doors as well on the interior, so on the opposite side of the pathway from the cliffside. There's guards in packs of 2 patrolling up and down these walkways. There's also several guards posted up just staring off the edge towards the water. Every 30 feet or so, there's an additional guard posted up with spear and shield. You also see the face of that Akrasi general that you had battled against. Wounded, his arm is in a splint, and he's got cuts and bruises all over him. But he seems to be having a discussion with somebody along the wall, and I don't know that I ever gave you his image. We'll do that. What's up?
Can Fi kind of circle so that I can kind of make out some of their conversation, or no?
It depends on how close you want to get. If you want to get a little closer, you can try and listen in, but you have to get pretty close. It's a lot of loud, roaring wind out here.
Right. We'll try it. We'll try it a little bit closer.
Okay. I'd say on Fi's stat chart, roll stealth.
Roll stealth. $21.
Okay. So you're able to sort of. Do you want to like land close, or do you want to just fly by and try to pick up what you can? I should ask.
I'll have her land close-ish.
So there's not a whole lot of places for you to land, but you can sort of like wedge into the stone a bit and land along one of the like pillar-like wall structures between the open window areas, if you'd like.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you park up. The general himself sounds pained as he speaks. He's got two of his soldiers and one of the Neolantin phalanx soldiers speaking with him. He currently has his back to the open area, and the three individuals are standing in front of him. You hear him sort of dictating orders. He says, I want patrols around the clock. Up and down the streets, I want everybody from here to the southern temples to the cemetery in the rear of the city. I want people patrolling the walls outside of the city. I want people patrolling the beaches. I've given descriptions of every single one of these individuals, and I want them found immediately and brought to me. If you gotta kill them on the way, do it. As long as I see their bodies, I'd like them alive. But if they gotta be dead, they gotta be dead. Understood? The Neolantin gentleman nods and walks off. The two Acrossi soldiers seem like they're waiting for additional orders. He looks at them and he says, okay, I want you to take this unit, and he seems to be marking something on the wall behind him. I want you to take this unit. I want you to move through the city. Kick down doors, break into places, whatever you got to do. You have full authorization from the Triarchy. Find them. Bring them to me. I want you to take your unit, post up outside that theater. Make sure nobody gets in or out. Understood? The soldiers nod, move off. The general then just steps off to the side, begins looking out over the water, down towards the beach where his contingent of soldiers are sort of camped up.
Okay. I'm just gonna have Fi fly down. I don't want her to be seen by this guy, so we're not staying on this level anymore.
Okay. Where would you like Fi to go?
Well, I don't know where Ashi and Otto are.
No.
So I'm going to have Fi just start scouting the cells for the description of Belle or anyone that she recognizes.
Okay. Roll investigation.
With Fi's or mine?
With Fi's.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're in the eyes of Fi, you just be doing Fi's stats.
She got a 13.
Okay. So you go cell to cell for a moment. You notice a lot of these people don't look like criminals. A lot of them seem very poorly clothed. They seem very beaten, badly and sullen. They're bruised and cut. Some of them seem like they're wounded more so than others, but they seem to just be left in these cells. There's a large variety of individuals in these cells. You do notice distinctly that a lot of the people in these cells are not human. Though there are some humans interspersed, you're noticing a lot of non-human species locked up here.
I mean, yeah, I don't really have anything else to go on for what Fi should look for, so.
Okay. Do you want to park Fi somewhere watching an area then? Or do you want to move back towards the mansion? You could also
I want Fi to
check something else out in town if you'd like.
I want Fi to come back to me so that I can start kind of stealthing my way through the streets, because I don't. Or, well, no, I should look for Otto and Ashi first. So I'm going to have Fi do that. I'm going to have her look for them.
Okay. So we're going to go back to Otto and Ashi then. You guys are still in that window of Belle's cell. What would you like to do?
If I go inside, can I go inside?
You can fit inside, yeah.
And if I can fit inside, can I fit going to the hallway, or I cannot go there?
You won't be able to get through the window of the door. No, you can just get into the cell.
Okay. Not even I had to peek or something on the outside.
Well, Belle is right in front of it, sort of peering out of it, so you kind of have to just get in her face.
Okay.
You could try to get on the door and peek out the window, but the window and like the port basically of it is very tiny, so you won't be able to see very much.
All right. Can I try to land on her shoulder?
Sure. You want to fly in and just perch yourself on her shoulder?
Gently.
Okay.
Yeah, the shit out of
Yeah,
her.
you startled her for a second, and she stumbles to the side as you like latch onto her shoulder. What the fuck?
You know when a bird looks at you and it just like bends their knees to the side, like looking at you?
Okay.
Just gonna do that.
She's saying it stumbles to the side. The fuck is this? Get off me! And she starts to like shoo at you with her other hand.
Just gonna be looking. Is she really that stupid? Oh my god. Notice me.
What would you like to do? Ashi, are you doing anything in this instance as well, or just watching Auto Bird?
I
Did
want to
she?
call and kind of like hop up and down,
Okay.
like quite not loudly, just kind of like hey, like squawk.
Okay. She looks to the side. She looks to you, Ashi, and then she looks to Otto. She's like, can I help you?
Can we nod?
Yeah, I'm gonna nod.
Yeah, you can nod for sure. Like, did my friend send you?
Nod
I
again.
nod again.
Okay. It's like, do I know you?
No.
Not no.
I nod no.
Okay.
Yeah, nod no as well.
Well, you got something for me? What is this?
Can I approach to get a peek on that window that she was looking at?
Yeah, you can hop off her shoulder and look out the window.
I'm gonna try to do that.
You can like barely squeeze your little bird head through the bars, and you can sort of peer up and down the hallway. It's a pretty dark corridor. There's just a couple of lit fiery sconces on far ends of the hallway. At the one end, you see a guard patrolling in your direction, but he's a good 90 feet away, sort of like slowly looking for like through each door as he passes by, sword and shield in hand. There's another guard off to the left that is walking away from you down the corridor further, with a spear.
Okay.
It just seems to be rows and rows of these doors.
And I suppose it all looks the same. All the doors looks the same. Like if I was
Yes.
on that hallway, I would not be able to know which door Belle is inside from.
The hallway sort of disappears into darkness further down. It's a very long corridor that the guard is pacing in the one direction. Looking to the right, go ahead and roll investigation for me.
Roll what?
Investigation. And it would be on a crow stat block. So if you'd like, I can get that for you.
Yeah, I have no idea.
1 second.
I rolled I rolled 11 on the dice.
Okay.
I think I have the stats. What are you rolling investigation?
Yeah.
Yes.
So wisdom.
That's a minus. No wait. Investigation. Oh wait, it's wisdom, not intelligence.
No, it's intelligence.
It is intelligence. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's -3.
Nope. So you rolled an 11.
Yeah.
So an 8. Okay. Yeah, like peering back and forth down the hallway, you can't really make anything in particular out. Again, it's very dark. It's hard to see. You can't really turn your head very much. You only have just enough space to get your head through these bars.
Okay. Is there a gap between the door and the floor?
No, it's
no,
barely any room between the door and the floor.
Hmm.
Bella's just watching you sort of hop about the door.
Okay, I'm gonna get away from the side of the door. So if the guard is coming by, I don't want to be seen there or heard. So I'm just gonna land on the ground.
Okay.
Next to the door. I also gotta be aware of the time. I don't really want to lose my polymorph spell while I'm inside here.
How long have we been in here for?
About 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. in order to help us locate ourselves when we're in the inside, if we go from the inside, I think that's not gonna be a good idea. I think we should take her from the outside. We could probably mark the place up somehow, like drop something on the floor that we can remember and see, or putting something on the window, like tying up a piece of cloth on the steel bars.
Yeah, you have to go get some cloth.
Well, Belle is definitely wearing some cloth, isn't she?
You want to tear off her clothes as a bird? What are you trying to do?
Can I just with my beak just gently beak her cloth a little bit, like I like pointing that I want to tear just a small piece of it off.
Roll persuasion.
Oh my god. What's the persuasion of a crow though?
-1.
-1.
9.
Can't be trusted.
It's gonna be a 9.
Yeah, as you start tugging at her clothes, like, what the hell? She starts swatting at you again.
Oh god. Well, I'm trying to help here, but
Ashi, you want to do
can't
anything
do
here?
much.
As Otto is tugging at the clothes of Bill.
No, I don't have anything I can do here. I mean, I've got some ideas for other things, but I would have to come back.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go back to the outside of the window.
Okay. Do you guys want to stay in this location, or do you want to move out?
It's been a
Now that we
while.
know where she
I
is.
need to get away. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a good identification from the outside of where she is for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So let's fly back to regroup somewhere and discuss.
Did Fi find them before they left or no?
Yeah, as they fly away, Fi spots them moving out from that one cell window.
Okay. I'm gonna tell Fi to pluck one of her feathers out.
Okay.
And then put it on the window so that Belle can grab it, and then caw, and then pick up the feather, and then leave it back there, and then fly away.
Okay.
I can't really communicate
Yeah.
anything with her.
No.
But that's what I do.
Okay. Okay. And then you guys want to make your way back to the mansion?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Fi
Yeah.
to help me stealth through the streets again.
Okay. So Lazuli.
Yeah.
So you make your way southeast out of the magnificent mansion into the open area behind the theater, and you want to move southeast through the. You want to go towards the thoroughfare into the agora.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're pretty nondescript. They can't really identify you very well. A lot of the guards, they do sort of take notice of you and look at you. You seem like they're looking you over. A couple patrols as you pass through the alleyways moving out into the agora. But nobody seems to take particular interest in you, and they let you pass. They move along.
Okay.
Moving into the agora, there's a good number of guards here. You notice guards posted up on both points of access on the north and south sides of the street. You notice a combination of both Neolantin guards and Akrasi soldiers now.
Okay.
And there's a number of guards posted up. They're guarding the temple entrances. They're guarding access to certain rooms in certain buildings in the agora. But there's a good number. You notice a little over a dozen of these guards posted up on the one side that you sort of move up into.
As far as the agora itself, is this like shops and such? What is this?
Yeah, it's mostly shops, mostly merchant stands. There's like a small speakers square in front of the temple side of the agora, not currently occupied. You know that there's a couple taverns here, including the one where your inn room was located on the far end,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a couple other inn-like structures on the opposite side, as well as some political-looking buildings and some small residential space as well.
Okay. This is frivolous. Can I buy some healing potions?
Yeah, yeah. If you'd like to, there's a couple market squares in the area and small locations that are tucked both in the front of the street and some in the more side street areas. Do you want to head for
Is
like
there any area that's particularly busy compared to others?
the main street area is much busier than the side street areas.
So I want to stick to the main area, and kind of as I'm going through, I want to browse a little bit through shops just to see if there's anything that catches my interest. But ultimately, I do actually want healing potions, but I also want to be listening to general customers and passerbys.
Okay. Roll perception as you pass through.
Perception, 13.
Okay. Um, so you make out just indistinct conversation. Most people seem to be quiet, keeping to themselves, especially with the increased guard presence. There's not a lot of conversations. You pass a couple of these smaller taverns on this side of the street, which is the opposite side of the street of the tavern that you had visited originally.
Hmm.
They seem like there's a lot of commotion in there. People are rowdy and drinking and having a good time. There's guards posted up, one guard outside of each one of those taverns, sort of just silently, stoically standing.
Okay, and people are passing in and out without being stopped?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. You notice the guards do take notice of people. They're looking at their faces. They are paying attention to them as they move in and out, but they're not stopping anybody.
Okay.
Do you want to move up to the merchant stall, try and buy some potions?
Yeah.
Okay. As you do, you sort of get a vibe about you. You look in a direction, and there's a man in a black cloak with golden lining, in a sort of covered helmet, staring right at you. Nods at you as you make eye contact.
Oh ho ho. And you said I get a vibe.
Yep.
Is it a familiar vibe?
It is a very familiar vibe.
Okay. I'll nod back.
He gives you a motion with his head to follow, and he moves off to the side into a small alleyway along the street.
I will follow nonchalantly.
Okay. You see him sort of moving slowly. He looks back over his shoulder, spots you, and moves into a little tiny alcove, and you lose sight of him.
I'll follow.
Okay. Moving into this little alcove, sort of a nasty little spot. Smells pretty bad over here. Um, but he's standing there, leaned up against the wall, and he motions for you to come and stand with him.
I'm so excited right now. I'll go stand.
Okay. Do you like lean next to him, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll lean next to him. Probably cross my arms. I don't know. Scrunch my nose at the smell.
Okay. He keeps the helmet on. He looks to you. Says, Lazuli.
Would I know who?
Not yet.
My gut wants. Okay. Uh, hi, Lazuli.
Mm. How can I be sure it's you?
Oh boy, I never decided
We
any specifics here.
we discussed your tattoo.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I
Mm.
would show him the tattoo, but I was like, where did I put
Yeah.
what did I get?
Where
Where did
is
I
your
put it?
tattoo?
Yeah. I would say inside of their left arm, right next to their elbow.
Okay.
So upper inside arm. I'll go ahead and show them my arm.
Okay. He passes his hand over it, and it glimmers for a moment. He looks to you, says, I can't believe it's you. I am the one known as Jasper. We've corresponded in the past.
We have. It's good to meet you in the flesh. I did not realize that we had lost so much time.
Care to explain?
It's a long story. Do you want to hear it here?
No, I don't have to hear it here. If you'd like to leave a written description of the events that took place, you can leave it here. He pounds the side of the wall. There's a brick that seems like it's kind of loose, and I'll come and retrieve it at a later time. We'd just like you to know that we've received your information. Our leadership would like you to pursue this. At all haste, I have some information for you. It'll be delivered at a time and a place.
Thank you. That'll be much appreciated.
I want you to know the leadership of the highest ranking wants you to pay very close attention to this. Stay very close to it. We have some information on how you can locate this Savas. But we also need to be careful as we believe there is a leak in our organization.
Understood.
Be careful who you talk to.
Full caution.
If you need any resources, anything to help you along the way, reach out, ask. We'll be there to assist. I'll be following at a distance. I'll be keeping an eye on things. Is there anything you need from us?
Potentially. I assume you got my other message in regards to more immediate events.
I did. Have you made a decision on what you will be doing?
We'll be assisting them.
The organization trusts you to take the appropriate actions.
I'll do everything I can to not break that.
Again, I'll be following along closely. If you should need my assistance for anything, you know how to reach me.
Is there any information that can be provided specifically on the fortress?
Not here, but I'll have something delivered to you.
Thank you.
I assume you are doing this soon?
Yes. Probably tomorrow. But it depends on the information that we gather. The others are on a reconnaissance as well.
We have some influence here. I can make something happen.
Good. We'll certainly need all the help we can get, as I'm sure you're aware of the commotion that occurred not too long ago.
I am. Just maintain your cover and keep your head low.
Aye.
Here, take this. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small black coin. This is something that you're familiar with the organization. It's sort of a transaction. You can use it to obtain things in certain places. You're usually familiar with these places. They have marks on them. And it's usually to obtain, important, valuable equipment, things that you would need, that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to acquire. And I'll send you some more information on that.
Okay, perfect.
So he hands it to you, moves to step away, says, "I'm glad you're alive. There's been some changes since you've been away."
Yeah, I was worried about that when you said how long it's been.
Oh.
Is there anything immediately worth knowing?
Not right now. We really shouldn't spend too much time speaking. The city is in a bit of an uproar.
It is.
But we'll see each other again. I will provide you what you need. You'll receive information tonight.
I appreciate everything you do.
He nods to you, steps off, and disappears around the corner.
I'll wait a couple minutes, and then I will walk back out.
Okay. Yeah, he's nowhere in sight.
Oh, actually, before walking back out and while I'm waiting there for those couple minutes, I do want to check out that brick.
Okay. Yep. It slides off. You sort of jostle it, jimmies out, and slides out pretty easily, but it's pretty well masked. So when you slide it back in there, if you didn't know exactly where it was, you'd have a really hard time discerning that it was loose.
Okay.
There's a small alcove
Sounds-
on the inside that opens up into a bit of a wider space in the wall of this structure. There's a few bags in there, little pouches, and some weapons on the other side. So sheathed swords. There's 2 daggers, what looks like a small hand crossbow.
With the bags, is there anything like notable about them?
You want to grab one of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So you reach in, you grab the first one. Opening it up, looks like it's a very large pouch of currency.
I'm good. I'll put it back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put the brick back, and once the minute or so has passed, I'll leave and head back into the main thoroughfare.
Okay. Anywhere you want to go from this area, from the Agora?
Let me look at the map again. I'll just finish the walk by, as long as it's not like a ghost town. I want to walk through the Agora and thoroughfare towards kind of the southern temple area, and then kind of go walk along the harbor.
Okay. Okay.
And the south side of it that would go towards the lighthouse.
Towards the lighthouse. Okay, perfect. So as you pass through and around, you do notice a decreased guard presence as you sort of reach the southern areas of the city.
Mm-hmm.
You reach the end. You pass a couple of the temples, and you pass the Temple of Thassa on your left hand side. You notice an altar across the way, and the harbor off to your east hand side to your left. There are guards at the altar. You also notice a very grim-looking woman stepping down with a procession of black-cloaked priestesses behind her. I'm going to give you an image of this woman here in a moment. She's moving slowly. Doesn't seem to be addressing anybody. She's looking down. Let me get the image up here. If I can find it, I have way too many character images. I need to sort these better. But while I'm looking, so she's moving along. She passes in front of you and around you and moves towards the western side of the city.
Okay.
And here we go. There's the image.
Very grim lady.
Move past and continue on through the harbor.
I'll pause and watch them walk away for a second.
Okay. She moves down the street to the left. You notice there's a contingent of 4 phalanx units moving towards. They immediately step aside, give them room to pass, clock their spears into the ground, and keep their shields up, sort of in a sort of salute as her and these priestesses pass behind and through the center of them.
Oh, this is far more interesting than anything that just wandering around is doing for me. I would like to follow. Same pace I've been doing.
Okay.
Just kind of the leisurely browse. Also, did I buy my shit yet?
Not yet.
Oh, I want to pause and buy things as if we go back through the thoroughfare.
Okay. Yeah, we can make note of that. That is, as you head back towards the mansion at the end of your little journey here, you can make some purchases.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow this little procession.
How close do you want to follow?
40 feet back.
Okay. So as you follow along, you notice that guard unit sort of take back formation and move through the street. You kind of have to go around them. They do not get out of the way for you.
Yep.
So you go around. They don't seem to care or notice you at all as they continue their march through the city. You follow along with these priestesses. You notice pretty much everybody gets out of their way, sort of bows their head respectfully. They move through the outer gate on the southwest of the city and turn towards that western direction. Continue following.
Would I know what's in that direction?
You've not really been outside the city yet, so no.
If it's not like a completely, if the population doesn't drop off, if it doesn't look like it's completely dead and I would be, the only person kind of moving through there, yeah, I'll follow. But if it
Okay.
seems like I would stand out, then no, I'll turn back.
There's a slow procession, so there's a couple merchant carts that are passing through the gate. There's guards on both sides, so there's 2 guards on both sides of the gateway, but the gate is pretty wide open. They are making note of people that pass through, but they don't seem to be stopping anybody.
Okay.
Would you like to continue following?
Yeah, I want to keep going.
Okay. So you pass through. You move directly past the guards. As you walk through, they do take notice of you, as they're sort of checking everybody out that passes through. They don't stop you. Get a little nervous for a moment as they do sort of like completely look you up and down, check you out. But you're able to pass through the gateway. Off to your right-hand side, you see that procession of priestesses moving through what is a cemetery and towards a temple with Erebos markings in the center.
Oh, ho, ho.
Do you follow?
Remind me, Erebos. That's a god, yeah?
God of the Dead.
God of the Dead.
Underworld, yes.
Yep, that sure is the god of the dead in the underworld. Then separate question, kind of lore-wise with temples. I don't really. Do they keep hours?
Not. So some temples do. Some of them close down at certain hours. As far as an Erebos temple, you'd assume that, from what you know, they allow people in and out at pretty much all times. They're usually attached to crypts and necropolis, where people are buried ritually. Generally, the central necropolis are where the more wealthy and prominent are buried and located.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of worship and ritual sessions in regards to Erebos and the worship of him.
Okay. Because I half want to be like, hey, I was just in there. I was just there. Any information that should know about that? Any ideas about how that happened? But also, there's probably a better time for that.
What would you like to do?
And how much time has passed? That's a better question.
About 30, 40 minutes now.
Okay. No. I'll hold off.
Okay, so you just want to stop at the edge and turn back.
No, I don't. I want to keep going.
Okay, so you want to keep going and follow them
Yeah,
in?
I want to follow. Yeah.
Okay. So you move through the cemetery area. There are a few people out here, at gravestones. Nobody really takes notice of you. The necropolis itself there's a small entryway that's wide open. There's statues of Erebos on both sides, flanking the entrances. The priestesses themselves walked up the staircase into the entrance of the necropolis and disappeared inside. Are you moving inside?
Yeah, I do. I want to move in.
Okay. Moving in, you see several other of these black-garbed priestesses as they just sort of slowly bill about the entryway. They don't really look at you or take notice of you at all, you notice, as you move through. The necropolis itself, as you make your way through the entry, you notice there's several staircases. There's 2 staircases in front of you, and one to your left and one to your right that go down further underground.
likely crypts. And so the group of priestesses, the main one, what are they doing? Or did they disappear?
You lost sight of them as you entered that main area.
Okay. So what's the like kind of main temple look like?
So this main entryway is just very small. The ceiling is very low. There are sconces with white black flame alit along the walls. There's a circular area on the far end of the room as you enter that has what look to be wells. Very dimly lit water, it appears to be, but you can't quite tell. There are carvings along the walls, depictions of Erebos, what look to be cities and possibly underworld locations carved into the walls and around the area. Nothing too flashy or fancy.
Okay.
Aside from that,
Um,
there are some citizens of the city of not really notable note, but people that are better dressed than most, moving in and out up and down the staircases. A couple of them pass by you as you enter, and those priestesses are just sort of slowly moving about, hands folded, heads down.
are there any other priestesses, not those ones in the procession, that don't seem to be occupied?
None of them really seem to be occupied. They're just moving about.
Okay. Um, is anybody talking?
No, nobody is talking at all or speaking to each other at all. It is very quiet and somber and solemn in here.
Um, is there a particular, or I want to try and talk to the priestess that's closest to the exit.
Okay. Glancing around,
It's one of them.
there's one that's sort of passing by the front of the entranceway.
Okay. Yeah, and I'd like to very hushed tone, very softly, say, if I had questions about Erebos' realm, would I be able to speak to someone here?
She doesn't respond to you. She stops and she looks up at you. She looks over towards one of the central staircases that goes down, and she points.
Thank you.
She nods slowly, moving very slowly as well. Continues forward, head down once again.
Um, I feel like in the interest of time, I am going to put a pin in that, and maybe hopefully I'll be able to come back if we don't fuck ourselves over too much.
Okay.
Um, because yeah, time's getting close. So I'm gonna make a mental note of possibly somebody down those stairs would be able to help us with realm shit, and I'm going to head back into the city and then go back to the mansion and buy my little potions.
Okay. Yep. So you make your way back to the city. You're able to stop, meet with an amicable merchant who sells you. How many health potions would you like to purchase?
3.
3. Okay.
Well, no, there's 5 of us. Let's do 5.
Okay.
So thoughtful.
Okay. Yep. You're able to make your purchases just fine. There are a couple guards that do eyeball you as you're making these purchases, but again, they don't stop. They just sort of take notice of you and continue moving on. You're able to make your way through and around the city. You don't notice anything else of note. Um, did you want to check anything else out in the Agora or in the town on your way back?
I'll do the same thing I did on the way in and just kind of see if I notice anybody having a particularly interesting conversation. But if not, I'll just keep walking.
Okay. Roll perception again for me.
12.
12. Um, Nothing really stands out immediately, but as you're passing by one of the guards, you hear mention is, I think we found their room. It's over this way, and they're heading in the direction of the inn that you had been staying.
Gonna keep my head down and keep moving.
Okay. And continue on back to the mansion.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So everybody's getting back about the same time. Harmony, you arrive first, and you see Lazuli sort of making their way back across and behind the theater. across the more open area back there. At the same time, Miaces, you're able to pretty stealthily move to the city. Fi keeps an eye out for you. You're able to make your way across the street. While you're crossing the street up towards the Temple of Heliod, you notice a pretty large contingent of guards moving out of that phalanx fortress and up the stairs towards the temple. Looks to be at least 30 of them. They are not Neolantin guards, they are Akrasi guards and soldiers.
To the temple?
To the Temple of Heliod. A very long staircase to the temple.
Is the commander with them, or no?
No. No, you don't see the general with
there?
them. There is a commanding unit, but you don't. It's not somebody that you recognize. But there is a commanding unit that is leading this procession of soldiers. They are in a formation, moving up towards the temple.
I want Fi to fly above them, and then I'm gonna go inside and use my sight thing again.
You're gonna go into the mansion.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the mansion. Fi's gonna fly above them.
Okay. The rest of the party, I assume you all just went into the mansion and met up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you lose your crow forms?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you shift back into your normal forms, shake yourselves off a bit as you get the feel of your bodies back. Miaces, with the images that Fi is presenting, you see this contingent of guards move up. The commanding unit stops at the forward area of the temple, shouts some commands at these soldiers, and they begin to post up in the areas in front of and around the temple in more of a guarding formation, like they are fortifying it.
Specifically, the temple.
The Temple of Heliod, yes.
Okay. Is there any reason? Like, can Fi see anything inside the temple or anything that they're guarding?
Go ahead and investigation on Fi's table.
Okay. That's a 14.
You don't see anything particular. Moving on, it does seem like there's a bit of commotion towards the entryway of the temple. You can't really see what's happening. The guards and their tower shields are sort of blocking view. But it seems like there's something happening inside the temple at the moment.
Okay. I'm just gonna have her come back. I don't want her to get caught in any kind of crossfire. So
okay.
She'll come back to the mansion, and I guess I'll look at the party and just be like, we should probably exchange information before bed.
Absolutely. It might be more to be done before bed.
Do you want to stay in the parlor area? Or do you want to move to one of the rooms nearby?
Maybe we should move to that round table room, and if any of the bands awaken in there, then we can share with them as well.
Okay. Everybody cool with that? Okay. So you all move into that round table area. None of the band members are inside, but as you enter, several of those servants appear. One of them, the one of the female servants, appears at the doorway as you enter. Is anything we can get for you? Would you like something to drink? Would you like something to eat? We can have anything prepared for you.
I'm good, thank you.
Not now, thank you.
As you continue inside, the male servant on the opposite side appears suddenly. Says, are you sure? Are you sure we can provide anything that you might need?
I need nothing right now.
I don't.
Well, we'll let you know if we need anything.
They look to each other and they look a little sorrowful, but they back away and bow their heads. But they still stay inside the room with you.
That's fine. This is fine.
They're. Yeah.
Okay, so firstly, something's happening at the Temple of Heliod right now. I don't really know what, but there are a lot of guards posted outside.
Are you sure they're not just protecting the temple?
There's some sort of commotion in the entryway, and they're also Akrasi guards.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's anything that we want to touch, but that is happening rather close to us.
That might be worth checking out just to be safe.
It could also have absolutely nothing to do with any of us. I want to ask one of the servants, are you able to tell us who's present in the mansion right now?
The female looks at the male and he blinks out for a moment. Just a moment, comes back. He says, "Currently, Sir Bogsiege, Sir Golly, Madame Lisha, Madame Maurice, and Madame Suzilda are all located inside the mansion.
So
Master
Sidon's not
Sidon
here?
is not here."
I'm concerned. I'm more concerned now. Did he say where he was going before he left or no?
He was gonna do some reconnaissance, I think.
He said he was going to
He
sleep.
said he was going to sleep, yes. He said he
Yeah,
wanted to
Oh.
Sidon
rest.
said Golly already well, he did more than insinuate. He said that there was a mole in the band. If all of them are here and Sidon is not,
That's suspicious as fuck, especially if he said he was going to
I
be
should
sleeping.
say that I'm directly asking the servants if Sidon said where he was going before he left.
They looked at one another
I'm
for a
not.
moment. You're directly asking them, you said, right?
Yeah.
They looked to each other for a moment. Said, "No, Sidon. He was here for a while. He went into his room and then he left."
Okay.
Anything else? You all have a lot of information to exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
I'm gonna let them know what I overheard about the increased guards, specifically at the stage, and I made notes. Hold on. Increased patrols even down on the beach. And that they're posting up outside of the theater to not let anyone in or out, and that they will be kicking down doors in the city looking for presumably us and maybe the band as well.
well, I can tell you that they found the inn room that we were staying in.
I wouldn't cause trouble for the innkeep.
We likely did.
I'll have to worry about that later. So if still breaking out, Belle, so we know where she is, but now with the whole like news about like the um increased guards at the music places, it seems that we probably wouldn't eat like this whole performance doesn't sound like it would even be able to be put on at this point.
Well, that's not entirely a bridge we need to cross at the moment. Uh the prison break is still a
Okay, so
thing.
the prison break is still the most important thing. So
Yeah.
we know where she is being kept. We know where her cell is, but we only know where it is from the outside.
I did try to give her a signal with Fi. I left one of Fi's feathers with her, and hopefully, when we infiltrate and Fi calls, she'll drop the feather outside of her cell.
Oh, hold
But
on.
The other alternative is if we could write a note and bring it to her to tell her what is going on.
We can certainly send a message, but
Yeah.
if you say that you know where she is,
That's what I'm asking. How does that affect your spell thing? Like, would that make our lives a lot easier if you know exactly where to just go in and out, and if we can tell her ahead of time what's going to happen, and we might not even have to like infiltrate.
yes, that's my thoughts exactly. It would be incredibly easy if I can get within 500 feet of it.
Yeah. So if we could get you within 500 feet, the other question is are there any magical spells or protections that this base might have in place that would like disrupt things like that?
Yes, I was able to meet with my contact, and they're going to be providing me with more information on the fortress. I need to make a note to specifically ask about magical interference because I unfortunately forgot to mention it at the time.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, if there isn't any interference and you're able to dimension door in and out, then that makes this job extremely easy. But uh, uh, I have a feeling there's going to be something we're going to have to get good around magic
Yeah,
wise.
I think you're right. So, step
Well,
one, find
yeah,
out if there's any magical suppression.
Yes.
If the answer is no, this just became a lot easier.
Yeah. So where would we even start with trying to figure that out?
Well, we'll start with my informant.
Who is your informant? Like, what? This is an informant that, like, what is their position? Like, I was kind of AFK slightly during that.
No, that's actually like so out of character. A valid question to question why, Lazuli, why?
Like,
Why do you have this
talking to,
information?
girl?
Yeah, nope, that's valid. I work with people who know things. I work with people who can find out how to know things. We have a network, and so they should be able to provide almost anything we'd like to know.
Okay. Sorry, I just trust you on your word on that. I have no reason not to. Is that something that we could find out tonight?
They said they would be in touch soon. I don't know if that would be tonight, but it'll likely be tomorrow morning.
Okay.
At the moment, I would say all of us are quite exhausted.
Yes.
I do have a question about how your spell works. Do you need line of sight
Nope.
on the location? No?
I do not.
Okay. I did find a small village of, well, I guess like little settlement of beggars that might be easy to blend into the crowd if you can cast it from there. I think that's within 500 feet, Bird?
If you can cast it from where?
Where Miasis was hiding earlier.
That
up
would not
against the wall.
that would not be within 500 feet now. That's still about 800
okay.
feet away from that particular location.
Got it.
Do
Never
we
mind.
have any invisibility spells?
Yes,
Who has it?
me.
What does it consist of? Like, can you create, like, is it just one person is invisible?
It's a
Because I might be, because
concentration
I can change
spell,
out my
right?
spells before tomorrow, so I might, because I'm thinking of ways that if we need to get you within 300 feet, or 300 feet, 500 feet, we could do an invisibility thing. I mean,
Well,
I'm thinking of
I
what the easiest way to do this is.
yes. The only problem with invisibility in that case is I would be unable to cast any spells and keep the invisibility. It breaks as soon as you try to
What
do too much.
Can I turn? I'm thinking of just like I'm trying to be creative here. Like I could look into see if there's any large flying creatures I could transform into to bring you up, because like to the fly close to the prison, and then you
I
just
think anything that size to carry Lazuli would get the attention of the increased guard.
if I am not. But what if I'm invisible?
I don't think you can be invisible and also be polymorph. Can you, Bird?
This
You-
is
You cannot be invisible in polymorph now.
and well, is it polymorph or
Wild shape.
wild shape?
But
Yeah,
you can't cast spells on yourself, and I believe I can only make myself invisible.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my spell is slightly different from the traditional one.
I can make someone else invisible.
The other thing I'll say, though, is while invisibility is good, we don't necessarily need to be that close to the fortress.
invisibility is a concentration thing too. So keep in
Okay.
mind, if you have the illusion invisibility, it is something that you would concentrate. It's a touch spell, and you would concentrate to maintain it.
Yes, I do have a more powerful spell that would allow me to cast spells while invisible, but it only lasts for a minute, and I don't believe that
No.
that would work.
That's one idea. On to other
Would-
ideas.
We could
What
scout
about
out.
disguising?
A disguise
Mm.
is incredibly important. Yes, I would support that.
I do have an option where I can disguise any number of people into just about anything.
That sounds incredibly
Honestly,
useful.
And it would last for several hours.
If we can do that, I think we would be better off with infiltrating disguised as guards and then leaving through Lazuli's dimension door.
I think that we should put a slight pin in this to actually get a better idea of what is within 500 feet of that
Yeah.
location.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
once we know what that actual radius is, it's possible that there's a perfectly safe spot to get in and out from without
So
having to do anything
I
fancier.
I can tell you based on your reconnaissance with both the bird forms and Phi sort of passing over the area, you would have to get inside the actual fortress structure to be within 500 feet of that cell location.
Okay.
Because
Even down
it's
from the beach?
yeah, even down from the beach.
Mm.
And I mean, you'd be
Okay.
able to you'd have to get pretty close to the fortress on the beach, which has that sort of encampment with soldiers set up on the outside,
Right.
and guard locations down there as well. So I mean, if you could sort of reach the bottom of the wall, you would be barely in range. I'd say probably right there. I'd have to math out the
Okay, so
distance,
we
but
still
yeah.
have to actually do this whole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we'll
still have
still
to
need to get
actually
in.
get in and out.
Okay.
Wait,
Sounds good.
I got another question.
Yes.
If we went towards that window the same way we did right now, as a bird, and somehow managed to cast polymorph on Belle, so she can get out of there as a smaller form.
That's a really good idea.
Can you cast it while you're polymorphed, though?
No, I cannot cast it while I'm polymorphed, but if we can find a way to do that.
So, how many times can you cast polymorph?
3 times.
So, once to get in.
Assuming I don't use it for an invisibility, of course.
Right. Once to get in, and then once on her and once on yourself to get out, is what we're looking at.
Okay, I go in invisible. I go in polymorphed. I
Mhm.
I undo the spell. I cast polymorph so she can get out, and then I cast polymorph yet again to get myself out.
And
3
I mean,
times.
you guys were in there as crows earlier,
Yeah.
so we know that you can get in and out.
If we got in, she can get out.
Certainly not the worst idea.
No, it's a good idea as long as there's no weird magical interference that would prevent you from being able to cast spells. Which I
Yes.
don't know how the rules of
Wouldn't
the lot
that
of D&D work. I'm just
wouldn't any sort of magical interference have forced you two out of polymorph when you got in?
Not
Not
necessarily.
necessarily.
Yeah,
Okay.
there are certain spells that would, but there's also certain spells that would just prevent cast. There's certain spells that prevent cast of certain type. There's a lot of like defensive magic.
Okay. So that could be plan A. And if plan A fails, plan B is regular infiltration to get then both Otto and Belle out of that cell.
If okay, in case that fails, I get in the cell with Belle, and
Well, yeah, you would be
would
stuck
that
in there.
would that mean would that make me have a way of contacting you from within the cell so you can locate it easierly?
Well, I tried to give her a message to help us locate it. I left a feather of Phi's in there, and whenever we're in that hallway, Phi is going to caw, and hopefully she can drop it outside of the bars, and we'll find it, and we'll find her cell. Um, but if she doesn't know, you know that if there's a feather in there, drop it outside of the bars, and we'll be able to find it.
Okay, and what do we do about the guards? There's one on
Well,
each side going in back and forth.
there are only two, but there are a lot more guards on the upper levels that we would have to get through first. Hopefully our distraction would file out a bunch of them. I definitely think that the guards that are guarding prisoners would probably stay. Unless it was a bigger emergency. Again, if we're just dealing with the guards in that one hall, then it's only 2, and we can take them out quietly.
Okay.
I'm gonna share the general information that I kind of have with. You already know that the guard presence has increased, but I can also confirm that they are very closely watching everyone that passes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Harmony, do you want to share any of your expedition?
Nope.
Okay. Just I knew that was going to be the answer. I was just curious.
No,
I
I'm
was
just gonna
able.
listen to what they're talking about.
I'll
I
let them
don't
know
trust
that
nothing
I.
about this house.
Say that I think it's significant that Sidon isn't here right now, and I think that we should potentially wake someone and tell them.
I think that we should maybe wake someone, maybe check out what's going on at the Temple of Heliod. It might be connected.
I personally would like to turn in for the night.
Up to y'all.
How much time do we have, like, to still get our long rest?
It depends on how early you want to be awake and taking action the next day. So
We didn't really talk about an exact start time, so.
yeah, so it's about 11 p.m. at this point.
Who? I think we should wake. I think we should wake Leisha and tell her.
I think that's a good bet. Golly was with Sidon when we met him, and I'm not sure
Mhm.
how well he would take to the insinuation that something else might be happening.
Leisha seems to have a good head on her shoulders.
She does. Are we ready to talk to her now?
I think so. Should we ask one of the servants to wake her up?
Yes, I think that would be good. I'd like to request one of the servants to wake up Leisha and pass along the message that the adventurers are in whatever room we're in, and
I'd like to suggest that we talk outside. In here.
both have their own risks either way.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
I think that we should wake her up first, and if we want to move outside, we can move outside then.
Okay.
Okay. So what are you guys doing?
I think we're just asking them to wake up Leisha and
You want to
tell
ask
her
the
that
servants?
we want to talk to her. Yes.
Okay. They perk up immediately once you sort of acknowledge them. So, oh, Mistress Leisha, we can immediately. Yes, yes, yes. And they both disappear, blink out of existence. Above you, you hear a bit of a thud. Very suddenly. A second later, they both blink back into the rooms. She's on her way.
What was
Thank
that
you.
noise?
There was a. Maybe we were a bit loud.
Did she fall out of bed?
They
Poor
look.
lady.
They look down at their feet. Don't respond. But you hear a bit of commotion outside. You hear somebody sort of stumbling down the stairs and grumbling.
Let's go out there to meet
Meet
her.
her.
Yeah.
Okay. Stepping outside, Leisha's in the parlor, sort of rubbing her eyes, and also a spot on her head. She turns and sees you. She's like, "Yeah, what the hell?"
Do
We
you have a
uh,
moment to talk
I
outside?
just fell asleep.
I'm sorry. We
Oh,
have some information.
let's go. What do you want? And she moves
Okay.
outside into the more crappy shack outside of the mansion.
Yeah. I'll follow after.
Okay. She moves to the opposite side and sort of leans against the wall. Is everybody moving outside?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
There seems to be nobody outside, right?
Yeah, there's nobody out there.
Okay, yeah, I'll go outside.
She leans back. She's okay. So what? What is it?
So previously we had been discussing here, before we initially entered the mansion, Golly suspected that there's potentially a mole in the band, yes?
You know, I don't really believe that. Somebody definitely snitched this out. I don't think it was one of us.
I have a question that I would like your opinion on.
Yeah.
I realize this is implicating, but when we were wrapping up dinner for the night, and Sidon had stated that he was going to bed, um, we were wondering who all was still in the mansion after we arrived from our own little outing, and Sidon was no longer among the listed. Did he speak to any of you or say anything before he left?
No. Maybe he was just restless. Wanted to go get a drink.
Is that safe right now
You
to be
know,
on your own?
he's pretty good at concealing himself. Better than most of us.
There is an increased guard presence. They're kicking down doors in the city right now, looking for us and looking for you.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was the case. She doesn't really seem worried.
Yeah.
That it? That's what you
Um,
woke me up to tell me?
do you know of anything that would be happening at the Temple of Heliod that
Hopefully
would cause
somebody's
a
burning it
commotion?
down.
Hopefully. There's a very large Acrossi guard right now dealing with some commotion
A
up there.
Crossy. How many of them?
Um, fuck, I didn't write down the number, Bird.
That's all right. You can give her a general idea of what you saw.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I'll just like tell
okay.
her what I saw and that there was a commander with them even, not just guards.
She squints a little bit. She's like, yeah, sounds kind of fishy. Honestly, it's kind of odd. I didn't really think Neolantins and Acrossi got along very well.
I think this is my own thoughts on the prison right now. I think Akros is trying to take over, starting with the prison. I saw a lot of wrongfully imprisoned people. Not many humans among them. There were some, but they were mostly other races, and there were, that Acrossi general was barking orders at both Acrossi and other soldiers.
Hmm. I'd say I don't know where Uzma is, but if you can track him down, he might be able to help you out with that. I don't know too much about it. I don't know if they're trying to take over the city. Honestly, I don't really care. If they want to, let them. Either way, we're gonna put on our show and turn it all to shit.
There's also a contingent of guards meant to keep people out of the theater, specifically Acrossi guards, that will not let anyone in or out of the theater right now.
I think we'll be able to handle that
Okay.
when the time comes. Once we get Bell out, Uzma's got some people that are supposed to help us out. So I think we can handle it. I think once we get on stage and get things going, we get the crowds roaring, it'll be all right.
Well, before we let you go to bed then, are there any particular bars nearby that you guys have been haunting?
I mean, there's that one that we stayed at. The one, same one that you guys are staying at, you said?
The one that the guards were heading towards, and I'm gonna look over at Lazuli.
Correct. There is a contingent of guards specifically looking for us.
That's really the only places that we hung out and drank any, honestly, aside from behind the theater.
So if Sidon theoretically gone out for a late night cab, would that have been where he chose to go?
He could be going there. He could be in the backstage area of the theater if he managed to sneak in there. He gets around, he's pretty stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Really? That's it? That's what you bothered me
That's
for?
it.
Great.
Sure is.
Cool. Can I go to sleep now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. You want to not interrupt me again? She pushes past you guys and makes her way back inside.
I don't trust Sidon a goddamn bit.
I don't know if I don't trust Sidon or if I don't trust Leisha now. She really brushed that off.
Well, they've been together for how long? They trust each other.
But if even
Otto,
Gali said that there might have been a leak,
What?
earlier you had been able to scry to find Belle. Are you able to do that again tonight?
No.
All right. That was all.
I could send Fi out to that bar, see if
I
Sidon's there, but
do not think that he will be there at all.
me
But
either.
it might be worth sending Fi out just to see if you can spot him.
Yeah.
As you guys are having your conversation, very suddenly you hear like thump, thump, thump pounding on the outside of the very light wooden door to the sort of shack that you're sitting inside.
Immediately, everybody shut up. Let's go back in the mansion.
Is that what you're doing?
I would like to go back in the mansion.
Yes.
I feel like we should answer the door.
You can answer the door. I'm going back in.
Lizzie's going inside. What's everybody else doing?
Yep.
I'm going inside with Lazuli.
I think it would be safer to go inside.
Otto?
I'm going inside.
Harmony. What would you like to do?
I mean, what if it's Uzma?
Go for
It
it.
could be.
Be very
know what?
careful.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one person can open the door, but have an escape plan in case it's the guards that have been coming through banging down doors.
I mean, this is up to Harmony. You guys went inside.
Yeah, we're inside.
Okay.
You know what? I will answer the door.
Okay.
It's the worst thing that could happen.
So you go up and you open it?
I'll open it, but like in a way where like I'm staying behind the door.
Okay. So peeking outside, you don't see anybody, but there is a small scroll sitting on the ground in front of the door.
Oh, god damn it.
Okay.
You pick it up?
Yeah.
Do you open it up and read it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to DM you. This is what the scroll is, and is what it says on the inside. Now you can choose to share that with the rest of the party however you wish.
Information is
Damn.
never reaching us.
Unless it's secrets, and then Harmony will spill all of the secrets, I think, for chaos.
Huh. Yep. Nope. They don't need to know that.
Okay.
They left me all alone to answer the door.
Okay. So yeah, if you can keep it all to yourself if you'd like, and act on it however you choose.
Nope. That's
Okay.
beautiful. Thank you, Bird.
So there's nobody else. There's nobody else outside. What would you like to do?
Well, if there's nobody else outside, I'll close the door and go inside.
Okay. Yeah. You guys see Harmony come back in.
Who was it?
What happened?
There's a squirrel.
The
No,
squirrel
chickens.
didn't knock
Squirrel?
on the door.
Excuse me, if a fairy can knock on a door, a squirrel can knock on a door.
Absolutely not. Why aren't you telling us what happened?
It was a squirrel. You know, maybe if you had been outside and not run like a chicken, you too would have seen the squirrel.
A fair
I'm
point.
sorry that we have a city after us, and
And how are they going to know that we were in a little shack? They would have just burnt the shack down. That's what I would have done. Bombs
yes,
ahoy.
I agree that you have a point. They would not have knocked.
Yep. Anyways, it was a very cute squirrel. Kind of remind me of the wilds. Just like this fucking mansion.
So would you all like to go to sleep now?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
I want to send Fi out to look for Sidon.
Okay. Where do you want to send Fi?
She'll start at the bar that we stayed at,
Okay.
and then fly over near the theater, and then maybe make another pass at the temple on her way back.
Okay. I'm gonna have you do 2 investigation rolls on Fi's table.
Okay.
And are you using your sight, or are you sending just Fi out to scout?
Let's see. How many points do I have left? I think I have 4 left.
I believe so.
Yeah,
yes.
I have 4. I'm about to take a long rest, so yeah, I'll for the investigation rolls, I'll use my sight.
Okay.
Uh, 13. $16.
Okay. So around the tavern area, you don't spot Sidon. You do spot the innkeep. Conversing with there's a unit of guards. There's 2 Akrasi guards and 2 Neolantin phalanx guards. Seem to be having a conversation with the innkeeper and the tavern keeper that you're familiar with.
Okay.
You don't see Sidon anywhere in the bar's location. There's several people at the location. You don't recognize anybody. Sort of moving about and around the city as well in the secondary locations. You don't spot Sidon anywhere.
Um, can I get her to go to one more place before I take my rest for the night?
Yeah. Where'd you like to go?
I want her to fly over the fort again and see if she sees Sidon.
Okay. Investigation. One more time.
Yeah. That one was a natural 20, but -3, so 17.
Okay. You don't spot Sidon anywhere. You do spot that Akrasi general on top of the fortification while it's still being repaired. Seems to be watching
Okay.
and assessing the area at the moment.
But not like he's waiting for anyone. He's just like there.
Yes, he's just standing, sort of pacing. Seems to be observing. Can't really, you're not sure if he's waiting for anybody or anything, but he's just standing out there pacing and watching.
Okay. Then yeah, if I can just come back.
Okay.
I can't think of anywhere else to check for Sidon, so.
You respond to this. Okay. Okay. Anybody else want to do anything before your rest? Go, Otto.
What?
Do you want to do anything before you rest? Before you long rest?
No.
Okay. So Otto moves off.
I'm done.
Okay. You move off. You just want to choose any one of those rooms up there that you'd been directed towards previously.
Yeah.
Ashi.
Nope, I am ready for bed, I guess.
Okay. Harmony?
Bedtime.
Okay. And Mia's, you're good?
Yep. I'm gonna
Lazuli.
go to bed.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. um, yep, so you tuck in for the night, you find your rooms, everything that you requested is presented to you. There are no servants in the vicinity in your private rooms, just the things that you had requested are left for you. Now, in the night, Harmony,
Oh no.
you're awoken from your sleep. You seem to be in your room. The same room still has that Feywild adornment to it, but once again, everything seems to have completely lost color, similar to that dream you had previously.
Okay.
Sitting up and looking around, you notice on the far side of the room, in front of the door, standing there, is that same figure, that same individual that you'd seen previously in your nightmares.
What do you want this time?
Merely visits, merely see how you're doing. I see you've at least returned to the visual of your previous home. You must miss it here.
Nope. I don't trust this place one bit.
Sad? Would you like to return home? I can take you home. No, do you respond?
Solve what I need to do.
What was that?
If I went home, that wouldn't solve what I need to do.
Hmm. So you wish to continue your quest?
Unless you give me a solution to my problem.
What solution are you seeking?
I need to capture an elusive person.
Ah, yes. What would I get in return?
You're the one that wants me to return home.
So if I help you acquire this person, you would return home willingly.
I did not say willingly.
Well, I don't appear to be getting anything out of this bargain, then, do I?
You haven't shown me any reason why I should trust you.
Hmm. Perhaps you'll remember eventually.
Or it just proves to me why I should trust you.
I haven't given you any reason not to trust me.
Besides, no, well, I mean, you keep waking me up, so that's clearly a reason not to trust you.
It's just visits. I just like to check in on you.
So if you like to check in on me so much, then you should bring me something.
Well, how can I gain your trust? What would you like?
Bring me a method to find what I need.
Roll persuasion.
Hold on. I'm just gonna roll a real dice. I have to roll a 20, right?
D20, yeah.
And then it's -1, so it'd be a 5.
um, he looks at you. He's like, yeah, maybe we should start smaller.
Fine, we'll start small.
I will begin. I'll give you something. Maybe not quite that much all at once, but what else can I give you to begin to prove my allegiance to you?
Give me information that I need to know in regards to, I don't know, anything. Information on anything.
Information on anything. That's pretty broad. I could tell you.
Exactly. So it's up to you to gain my trust.
Well, let's see. This very well. I can give you information. I can help you locate your previous vessel, the Theros. Would you like to know where it is?
Sure.
And that would be assisting in gaining your trust?
It would be a step.
How big of a step?
As big as 5 foot.
Ah, that's not much. That's not much. This could be a mutual friendship. We could assist each other, you know.
Friendship is built on trust. One crow's foot at a time.
The wall behind you dissipates, and you see an image of open ocean. It still says black and white. It's just completely monochrome. There's no color. But excuse me, I cleared my throat for a second. The creature backs up to sort of show you the view of this ocean that you're watching. It speeds off past a great distance, past the city of Neolantin where you're currently residing. Moves off, continuing in a western direction. Moves very, very, very quickly. Goes through what appears to be a very violent storm. The view pans up, and you get an overhead view of what is clearly the Theros, circling an area surrounded by very violent storm. In the distance, there's an island. He points to the island. He's like, "You see this?
Yes.
It's called Metikos."
Called what?
I will spell it for you and put it into into the chat.
That is not what I heard. All right.
What did you hear?
I heard like a Z and stuff in there.
Oh no, I said Metikos. Did I say Metikos? I said Metikos. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But he points to the island. Yes, the Isle of Metikos, deep in the Siren Sea, not known to many. But if you find the right seafarer, they might be able to guide you. There you will find the Theros and something very important to you.
And I'm guessing you're not going to tell me where I can find the seafarer?
No, this was my step. Now it will be your turn to take a step.
And what is the step going to require?
Well, we don't have to discuss it now. For now, just take this as a gracious offer, in hopes that you'll trust me, like you once did.
We shall see.
He fades back off on the wall, turns itself back into that Feywild adorned wall that you had seen previously. He backs away just in front of the door. He says, "Well, that's all I needed for the night. Is there anything else you'd like to say to me?"
You never did answer the what did you want question. Checking in on me isn't a viable answer.
I worry about you, that's all.
If you insist.
Well, we'll be waiting for you. Until then, and he walks back out of the door, phases completely through. The room returns to its full colored state, and you feel at this time that you're finally awake.
I'm
Would
gonna
you like
throw a dagger at the door.
anything else you'd like to do, or would you like to go back to sleep?
I mean, I'm awake now, right?
Well, yeah, you're awake. Would you like to continue to get your long rest benefit, is what I should ask.
Yep.
Okay. So you go back to sleep. Everybody else, you complete your long rest successfully. You wake up to the morning birds chirping. The rooms themselves have formed what look like windows, but you can tell they're pretty false. The exterior looks a little too harmonious and gorgeous to be the Neolantin ocean landscape that you're familiar with. So it's just some sort of illusory wall, but there is sunlight coming through these windows. What would you guys like to do?
I want to go to the round table room. That's where we said we would meet in the morning and discuss our plans, right?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go there.
Okay. So Mia sees you head out down the stairs. Otto?
I'm gonna follow the group.
Okay. So you step
Get up.
outside, you see Mia is moving out.
Yeah. I'm gonna go along.
Ashi?
Yeah, where are they going?
To the sort of round table meetup room downstairs.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And Lazuli?
Yeah, I'll follow.
And Harmony?
Yeah, I'll go to the circle room.
Okay. Okay. So you all sort of wake up, make your way down the stairs. Inside the meeting room, Gali is sitting there. Sidon is also sitting there as well. You don't see Lisha or Bogsiege or Maurice, but Cezilda is also sat in a corner away from the table, so lightly playing her guitar.
Okay. Can I roll perception to see if Sidon looks extra tired?
Sure.
24.
No, he doesn't really look that tired. He looks pretty focused, pretty aware, pretty awake.
And like he got a good night's rest, like no bags under his eyes, nothing.
Yeah, no bags under his eyes. Looks like he's rested.
Okay.
I'll just throw their images and see you guys know. Do you just move in and sit down, or what would you like to do?
Yeah, I wanna sit down next to Sidon.
Okay. He nods at you as you sit next to him.
I'm gonna walk through the door and notice what they're missing, and I'm gonna say, "Where is my destruction team?"
Gali nods to you. He's like, "Oh, well, Bogsiege is out front. I think he's preparing something outside. I think he wanted to have a little test run. I think Lisha stepped outside for a minute to scout something out personally with Maurice, but they should be back soon." So, are you guys ready for this? We have a plan. What are we doing?
Well, it's a little trickier now. We did some scouting last night. The guard has increased a lot. Specifically, the theater is not allowing anyone in or out right now, and they're looking specifically for all of us. They were kicking down doors last night. They questioned the innkeeper where we were staying. And it's there are a lot of Acrossi guards out as well now.
That's fine. I think we can successfully at least get to our distraction location, create that distraction. That should open up a little bit of room for us to maneuver around.
Hopefully so. Just we need to be extra cautious.
We're always cautious, right? Right, guys? Sidon nods. Cezilda nods just a bit, but she's still just smiling, playing her lute against the wall. Gali sort of moves up to you guys. So, did you learn anything else new? What do we know? Yeah, you guys are quiet in the morning, huh?
We know where Belle is.
You know exactly where she is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
I'll look at Golly and be like, "What do we know?"
What do you mean?
What do I mean?
I I don't know. What do you mean?
I would like to know what you know.
Well, I know that we're all heroes, and we're gonna bust in there and save our friend Belle, and she's gonna give you guys some great information, things that you need to know to help you complete whatever task it is you're going after, and we're gonna put on a hell of a show, and this town's gonna go wild. That's what I know.
With our mutual friend?
We have a mutual friend? You know somebody I know? What do you know?
It's a mutual person.
Oh, who is it? Who is it? Come on.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna like look between them like what huh?
I know. You
He's
two made out
tall.
last night when you walked off? That's what happened?
Cause hey, no, absolutely not. There's a Mrs. Golly, okay?
Brunette.
Like, no. But that's a good guess.
Likes blue and purple.
I think she loves the color purple, yeah. I haven't asked her in a while, though. I think she likes color purple. He
Mm-hmm.
he leans a little bit at the table. He's like, "Oh, what are you getting at? What's do you know my wife?"
Is she a human?
No, of course not.
You want to get to
Interesting.
the point already?
No?
Golly just sort of blinks at you with a big smile on his face.
I'll just smile at him.
It's like, well, okay, your friend is weird. But that aside, what else? What are we doing? Come on, tell me the plan. You guys are geniuses, I know it.
Um did we I'm gonna like look at Lazuli, like did we get any new information overnight?
No, nothing yet.
Okay. We sort of have two plans right now for infiltration, potentially so extraction. Um and then I'm just gonna kind of like look over at Otto and be like, you can tell your idea.
Well, if we even manage to pull this off, I don't think we would even need a distraction at all. I got in there polymorphed as a tiny creature. And if I could do that, we could try to extract Bell as a tiny creature from there.
But we currently don't know if there's some sort of magical suppression within the cells. If there's
Yes.
magical suppression, then our current plans will not work.
Sidon nods to you.
Unless there's a way to.
He says, I don't have any confirmation, but I believe there is some sort of field maintained.
Do
Is
we
there any
know
way we
how
can...
or where the field is maintained, the source of it, and if it can be disabled?
I don't have that information, I'm sorry. I was hoping one of you did.
We could try to get that information before we infiltrate this morning.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's necessary.
Very well. Sidon leans back.
What are we? I'm not magical. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be looking for. Lazuli, you sound like you know about what I should be looking for whenever we scout for it.
For scouting for what?
The field where it's maintained and
Oh, no, not necessarily. I would hope that that could come from outside information.
Mm.
The most that we would be able to hope to do is use uh, detect magic. However, there's a great many magical things, so identifying the specifics would be difficult. It is also very likely that it is not an object, but a set of people.
So, mage-looking people?
Correct.
Okay. We can look for mages. If there are any that stand out. Would this be the type of spell that you would have to, like, stand still for? Like a concentration?
Sidon leans in. Yes, likely yes. Something they'd have
Okay.
to maintain focus on at all times.
It could possibly be 4 people on a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Why 4 people?
Who knows? It was in a dream.
Like,
4.
a squirrel
4
told you.
people.
Well, that's a good idea. And it sounds like that could be something kind of obvious for us to spot if we can spot it from the outside.
Harmony, do you have more information on these 4 people?
It could possibly be in a storm.
Storm.
The people
What?
maintaining the magical field are in a storm.
Yeah, that's also part of the dream.
Hmm.
You see, there was like a ship and a storm, and then 4 people.
And so why does that have anything to do with the fortress?
Because it was also on the fortress.
I don't trust your dreams.
Well,
I mean, you don't have to trust my dreams. But it's 4 people on a rotation.
it's better than looking around wildly. I'll check out her gut instinct.
Sure. Anything else?
So I think the plan has changed now to disable that magical field first. Infiltrate after.
What
Yes,
do
I
we
think
know
that would be
about
wise.
what do we know about turning off magical fields?
Well, we would just have to break their concentration, right?
Just
It
kill
would
them.
be incapacitating the mages.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, if you time it properly, you can just break their concentration for like a minute or so.
What about if we used our We need to
Yeah.
find out where they are first, and then maybe we can use our distraction to break their concentration.
It's a good idea.
Does anybody have any leads on where they would be located within the fortress? Sidon, you seem particularly knowledgeable. Any ideas?
He leans forward. Well, my best guess would be they'd be located structurally enough that they could cover the entirety of the building. I believe they'd be in separate locations, covering separate areas of the structure. I imagine they'd be raised somehow, perhaps in watchtowers.
Hmm.
Would each individual watchtower be enough to cover everything?
No, I don't believe so.
We don't need to necessarily take out all of them, but we do need to take out the one,
closest to.
correct, the one closest to Bell.
Hmm.
What do we know of that area? Do we know anything of the layout?
As far as the interior of the structure, is that what you're asking? The interior?
Whether, I mean, specifics of the interior would be incredibly helpful, yes, but even if we just know the general larger structures of the area. And if perhaps one of them could be identified as the most secure location for a mage.
Well, there's a number of watchtowers surrounding the structure, several on the cliff walls, multiple on the opposite side for the Heliod temple side. As far as the interior, unfortunately, we don't know very much. It's hard to get in and out. Usually, the people that end up going in don't come out. So I'm afraid you might have more information in your surveillance than I do. I have a good amount of information about the exterior areas around the outside. I have a good location that I gave to Bog Siege for his distraction attempt, located up further in the mountains between the Temple of Heliod and the structure. But unfortunately, as far as the interior, I can't help you.
So does anybody have any ideas on where we'd like to start?
Bog Siege stumbles in at this time. You hear him come in from the front. Comes in with Leisha and Maurice. They all come in and sit down. Bog Siege specifically has scorch marks all over him, just like black soot scorch marks. He sort of sniffles as he sits down.
Did your tests go well?
Well enough. He wipes some of the soot off his face.
What'd you blow
You
up?
can
Well, Leisha here created a bit of an extra dimensional space for me, and we went in there. I thought we were at a safe distance. Leisha like scoffs at this. She's also covered in a bit of soot. But I guess I don't know. I got the numbers a little off. I got the math a little off. A little bigger explosion than I thought it was going to be. But nobody died. Nobody lost any limbs. So I think it was a success.
Are you gonna be able to make this look natural?
I think so. I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
Leisha grumbles something. She's like, I'm not confident, but whatever.
Do you have an extraction plan for if it's obvious that this was man-made?
Sidon pipes up at this. He's like, I do have a couple locations as far as extraction is concerned. You said you've located Bell's cell.
We did.
Can you tell me where
and I'll
this?
give him the exact number. It was like fourth up
Fifth
and
row from the
17th
beach
over.
level.
Fifth.
Yeah.
Okay.
5th floor, 17th window.
Okay.
Yes.
And your plan is to get close enough to get inside and use this polymorph trick of yours? He motions to you, Otto.
Yes.
Are you going to move in from the outside or from the inside?
I assume there's no space for me to just hang out on the window on the outside. I would have to get in there, right?
You would have to get inside, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have to go inside, cast a spell on her, wait there for a little bit, which is a little bit risky, and then once she's out and safe, I'm gonna have to cast it on myself.
Okay. Well, here's what I think we should do. I believe the distractions team should be the first ones to take action. Once they create the distraction, it should be pretty obvious, should it not, Bog Siege? And he motions at Bog. Oh, it'll be obvious. Don't worry. He nods and grimaces a little bit, but nods. Because once the distraction takes place, the infiltration team moves inside, while the exfiltration team moves to take out one of these defensive locations. Find these locations, take out one of these mages if they are protecting the area with some sort of barricade spell. Once we're able to do that, we provide a message to the infiltration team. Can any of you magically send information?
Not over long distances.
How long can you do it?
It's very limited, only 30 feet. However, Mises, were you about to suggest something with Phi?
I can have Phi give us a signal if she knows what she's looking for from the exfiltration team.
Yeah, we can send a signal up. I can send a flared signal up with a spell that I know.
Okay.
So once we take that down and we're sure that you can spellcast, then from the inside you make your move, acquire Bell, get in, and as far as getting out, he sort of looks at the map and the location that you're in. I think so. With this polymorph trick, you're going to be going in alone, Sir Otto.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the rest of you going to be? How are we going to move through?
I don't know quite where we want to enter from. There were a lot of guards everywhere that I saw. The only answer, I think, would be if we can empty the beach of guards, we can maybe enter from the bottom and work our way up. Going from the top down, I think, is suicide.
He looks at Bogsiege. He says, if you created one distraction, can you also handle redirecting the soldiers on the beach? Bogsiege leans back. He's like, well, what if we blew up their boat?
That's an idea.
Keep them busy.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly would.
He looks to Harmony. So, if I were to say, give you something that you dropped on that ship from above, think you could do that?
I'm gonna interrupt there. If you manage to get the guards' attentions out of that window and on the beach attention, it'll make it even easier for me to get Bell out, both of us out together, instead of me having to be inside.
Sidon says, okay, well, why don't we make it a 3-part then? The first distraction is the rock slide. Direct their attention to something innocuous that they believe is natural. We will eliminate, hopefully silently, whatever mage might be protecting the area of spellcasting. Once that happens and you see my signal flare, Bogsiege, by that point I hope you would have repositioned and you and your team can then demolish the ship, create a distraction for us at the beach. Bogsiege looks to Harmony. He's like, "Okay, you think you can drop a little something on these guys, a little gift?"
On a ship?
Yeah.
Is it the only ship in the harbor?
It's on the beach. It's got an Acrossi flag. It's pretty easy to spot.
I think we saw 2 ships there.
You saw one further out, much further out on the water.
Oh,
but
yeah.
There was just one on the beach.
I will blow it up.
That's what I like to hear. Okay, yeah, I think we can do it. So Sidon looks to Miasis, Otto, and Maurice. He says, okay, then, if we are to infiltrate at this point, I think we can draw enough guards away that we might be able to make our way in and support somehow. It's up to you how you'd like to do that.
It seems to be only 2 guards per prisoner floor that we could see. So not many that we would have to deal with.
We could take them out.
Mm-hmm.
Golly leans in. He says, how do you guys feel about letting out some of the other prisoners?
I would prefer to do that personally.
So
if we can do that, yeah, I fully agree.
Infiltration team, you want to just open up some cells along the way? Maybe
make more chaos.
Yeah, maybe organize a little bit of chaos there. Sidon nods. I would love nothing more.
Well, my only concern, like, I think that we should, but we'd have to worry about their safe escape.
I think on the lower floors, especially since there are only 2 guards per floor, we'll be fine.
we could move them downstairs, out the beach access. From there, if there's enough people, we can overwhelm the soldiers, any that are left after Bog Siege and Harmony here, take their action.
I mean, the more chaos you guys create, the harder it is the easier it is for you guys to get out.
Is there any way that we could have a weapons cache so that these people can protect themselves?
I think so. I do know somebody. Let me put a word out, see if I can get something organized. Golly leans back. Anything else? I think we have a good plan here.
The only thing we're missing is being able to locate the mage.
That's the most important thing. You won't be able to cast your polymorph unless we take this person down, should they be active. Anybody got any ideas? You're just going to go tower to tower? What do you want to do?
The other question is with the whole polymorph thing. I mean, like at this point, if we're just going to be releasing all of the prisoners, that might not be an issue anymore because we're no longer being stealthy about this.
We would still want the ability to cast spells.
Well, yeah.
We do want the ability to cast spells, so we have to find them either way. But maybe Otto can be with us instead of polymorphing himself and Belle.
Yeah, we potentially don't have to come in through the window, but
polymorph could be the backup plan.
Could
yeah.
Be.
But how are we going to go about finding this mage? Does anybody have an ability to detect them somehow?
No. Sure don't.
No, I mean, like all I have is detect magic, which isn't gonna help at all.
I could have Phi Scout.
You could.
To look without using like my concentration because she can still scout.
Yeah.
I could send her out now and we can see if she finds anything.
Let's go ahead.
What
and
about
do
your
that.
connection? What about Lizzie's connection with that group? Like, how are you able to make contact with them?
I did make contact with them. They should be providing information soon. I can see if I can make contact again.
That's what I'm saying. Is that we think that they would be the good source of that information. So, like, how can we move about getting that information, not just hope it comes?
I'll still send Phi out, and we can see who gets the information first.
Yeah, I think having Phi scouting it would be a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, specifically watch the area to see if you can see anyone mage light coming in and out of the buildings.
Right.
And which building that would be.
Yep.
Okay. So Golly nods. He stands up. The rest of the band also stands up. Says, "Okay, well, I believe we're all going to go get prepared, get armed up. Bog Siege, get your explosives ready. You send your bird out, find out what information you can, and we'll gather back out front when we're all prepared and ready to go. Then we'll bust into a prison."
It's like a plan.
Sounds like a good time.
All right, and we'll stop there for a minute.
Awesome.
Any questions? No?
I don't think I have any questions, no.
Okay.
No.
Any thoughts?
I think that letter might have been from your contact.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking you. Well, that's why it's like it's like, well, we haven't heard from him. You should maybe go talk to him because who knows if he's coming. Well, he's probably already came.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I'm
trying
pissed
to act
at
as if I don't know that there's a letter.
I'm pissed at my own anxiety and playstyle with being a coward.
Then there's me. It's just, what's the worst thing that could possibly happen?
Which is a good thing to have, but it sucks when it's not like a team thing.
You're all chickens.
It was entirely out of my hands. But I'm
I
not
will
confirming
say
anything.
I am completely trustworthy of Sidon and completely suspicious of Leisha right now. I think that Sidon is the red herring.
It very well could be.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Nope, no information there.
Well, it'll be up to you
I
if you
wanna-
want to act on anything.
I want to roll an insight on birds. I can of knowing nothing there.
Go ahead and roll it. Go ahead and roll it, Snow.
17.
17. You have no fucking idea what I'm talking about.
I sure don't.
But yeah, I think everything went pretty well. You guys obtained a lot of extra information. What's up?
I have a question. Without actually like doing it during the session, can like Harmony have some form of conversation with Macy's like before we went downstairs about the dream thing? Since
Yeah,
Macy's would be
if
the only person that would actually kind of understand.
if you want to have a DM and have a private conversation, you know, in character, do that. But just let me know what you guys discuss.
Yep. I did that with
Okay.
Ashi in another session, so
Just
I
let me
just
know what we
wanted to
discussed, so I'm
ask.
aware of what's going on.
We already discussed it. It was just the whole like them
Oh,
like
yeah.
knowing
Yeah,
about
yeah.
their past together.
Yeah, that I know. Yeah, Ben did share
Yeah,
that.
it was just us going into details on that.
Just for this one for Harmony and Macy's.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Discuss what you'd like. Reveal whatever information you'd like to reveal, and then just let me know what went down.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else?
When are we playing next again? Friday? Next Friday?
Yeah. Are we switching back to Fridays? Is that the plan?
I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
should be able to.
I can.
Why are we
Yeah,
the new
next
Saturday
Friday
group?
should be
Friday is good for me.
Yeah, I would prefer Fridays.
You sure you're good, Snow?
Yeah, next Friday I'm good. But I think on the other Friday I'm gonna take a vacation, so I should be out until January.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I
That'll
wouldn't
be
be able
that's
to do
like
the
That'll be
23rd
Christmas
either.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably
Yeah.
skip that week.
Yeah, next Friday is the 17th.
The 17th. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the next
No,
that
it's
next
16th.
the 16th, the 16th. And then that next Friday is like the night
The
before Christmas Eve.
23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
So
I'm probably gonna be out for a couple weeks then.
You guys celebrate
And-
Christmas?
Imagine that.
Horse? Why wouldn't we?
when do you know when you'll be back, Snow?
I'm probably gonna be out from the 23rd up until the 2nd of January.
Okay.
So 2nd of January is a Monday, unless y'all would like to have the Friday session of the 23rd a few days earlier to compensate.
Glassy, make it so we don't have raid.
I mean, we could do. I don't know what your Mondays are like. We've been doing those Mondays in between.
I can't go for too long, but I can do it.
What do you guys think? Siren, I hate that. I'm deleting the whole thing from my from my stream. Deleting it. So what is that? That's Monday.
The
So
19th.
So we'd be playing the
right?
16th, yeah, and then if you wanted to, we could play again the 19th to make it so there's not as big of a gap.
Well, I think we can work it out on the next week.
You said,
There's plenty of time, right?
Yeah, there's time.
but what days
Yeah.
were we thinking of doing? We were thinking of doing.
The 16th for
16th
sure,
for sure.
and then possibly the 19th to squeeze in another session before we take we'll probably take a break through until January 6th, I think, after that.
So take 2 weeks off.
Roughly, yeah.
Are we that far from ending this
Well,
campaign?
we're about halfway through.
We are
even
really
have the
slow
what's his
players.
face.
Yeah, we gotta finish all this stuff up and try to find Savas again.
Who?
Right?
Somebody may or may not have gotten some information about that.
Yeah, might speed it up.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows though?
Okay, I'm
So-
gonna head off.
Okay.
Good night, Snow.
Good night.
Good night, Snow. So yeah, we'll talk about it. I guess we'll do the 16th, and then if you guys want to do the 19th, if everybody's available for the 19th, we can do that as well.